Yo, Dio! What's up, puppers? And welcome to another episode of The Cringe. It's a Doodoo Spaghetti, and today we're going to be hopefully hanging out with Kaigan, and we'll be doing some Battletech, aka Robotech, aka Mech Warrior, aka Mech Warrior. I hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. Magandang hapon, everybody. Pinoy's, puppers, kabayans, chat, Dubert's, dingleberries. I hope you guys are doing way better than me, guys. This is the third attempt to try to stream today. We've been having a lot of issues ever since I saw the option to do dual streaming for free, and then when I was completing the instructions, it ended up that we had to pay to be able to dual stream. And then of course I tried to back out of the of all those steps that we did, and I thought that it would bring everything back to normal, but for some crazy reason, you guys, there's a lot of like hiccups, right? You could see the stream doesn't look too good, right, guys? It's like there's a lot of delay, or it's as if there's something running in the background that's taking up my PC's energies or something like that. Like I could just tell something's running in the background that I don't see, and I have a feeling that maybe it thinks I'm still trying to attempt to dual stream, but I said no on that, and then plus I cleared up my cookies and deleted a lot of the cleaned the cache of my Fisher's Price PC and did so many like 7 restarts. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. If the stream crashes, I'm already on the edge of actually just quitting and stuff like that. So if it crashes, that's it. Forget it. I'm this close to dropping the F-bombs. I may be happy, but I'm this close to dropping the F-bombs, the C-bombs, the B word, the double B word, and then the dreaded C word, and the F word. Oh, okay, so I'm testing how this is first. We're gonna try to see. The stream just doesn't look. I'm seeing, how does it look, guys? Does it look good to you guys? Is there like issues with the stream? I'm seeing it's clear. Okay, so it's bouncing back between clear and blurry, which means there's something that slows down the data to make it just a little bit blurry, then all of a sudden it goes back to normal. So I'm trying to see, hold on, let me look at let me pull up the stream. Does it look good to you guys on your end? Well, I guess we won't know until like we end the stream, and then we like have a VOD to just edit or look at for quality control. But anyways, guys, I wanted to do a secret stream today, but okay, let's test it, guys. All right, let's get into the game room and let's see if we could get at least one match without having it. Oh my goodness, this is okay. So this is I'm gonna do this extremely extreme so you guys could see it. So this is how I see it on my end. I see this. So as I'm talking, like you know, imagine my words like going normal like this, but the images when I'm watching the feed, the stream on my dashboard, it looks like this. So imagine I'm talking normal, but like the images like freeze like that. I don't know what the flip's going on. Oh, okay, here we go. All right, let's get into the game room and let's test this. Okay, we're doing a secret stream test. This is the third attempt to try to stream. Oh my. All right, here we go. All right, hopefully, let's see how this works. Hopefully you guys hear the audio. Okay, so far sounds good, I guess. Right, let me just make sure, hold on. Let's make sure we have the audio is good. Okay, I have the audio at 85. I guess it's okay, right, guys? Let's do the effects. Let's maybe make the effects a little bit louder, because there's nothing like the effects, guys. Let's do 90 here. Music, dialogue should be like normal. Right, let's do dialogue. Okay, that looks good. We'll save. Alright guys, let's get into a first match and see how this works. Okay guys, why is this flashing? What's happening? Oh, there's a faction team. Oh, they're playing faction gameplay. This faction gameplay, guys. All right, let's do this. All right, hope you guys having a way better afternoon than me, guys. You know what? I had a gut feeling when I saw. Okay, I saw on the Streamlabs desktop that it says, oh, you know, like there must have been a new update because it was in bold yellow lettering. And I always ignored it. So when I scrolled up, I said, oh, it says, oh, you could stream on 2 platforms for free. You know, it doesn't say anything you gotta pay for. It would have been, hello, Streamlabs desktop. It would have been nice if it said like you could stream to 2 platforms provided you pay. Okay, hello. So I'm thinking, oh, is it free? I was just curious. So I was gonna try to dual stream yesterday to my YouTubes. So I followed all the instructions, and then just when I was about to like finish it said that, oh, you need to purchase, you need to upgrade and purchase in order to be allowed to, to be able to do dual streaming. So I said, well, it didn't say that in the beginning. It didn't say that right out the gate. What the heck, Dio? So then, of course, I try to back out, right? I try to, thinking if I don't submit or agree, it would, all that steps would be flushed out of this, would just be removed. Then all of a sudden, when I started streaming, it like everything froze or crashed, and then I would restart the stream, froze or crash. I'm like, what the flip's going on? So then I would like clear the cache, delete all that stuff, and then restart the computer. And it must have been like I restarted a total of 7 times. We've been trying to get a nice, decent stream. So I'm like, and then you know what? Then the anger, the blood pressure begins to rise. The anger begins to grow. Breathing heavy, eyes, vision blurring. What the heck, Dio? So we're gonna see how this works. All right. And usually the MechWarrior, whenever I stream MechWarrior, it always has a little bit of a blur. I did my best to try to make it look nice, not only for stream, but for the VOD. So let me know how it looks so far. To me, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like clear and then blurry, then clear. It's like in a wave. So it's as if something's trying to like send out data, as if it was trying to send out like to a dual stream, even though I'm not dual streaming. So I'm like, what the flip? But we're trying our best. All right, let's see how this works. We are in Charlie Lance. My teammates are Captain Kill, and then something else.
Online. Weapons online.
All right, let's do this.
All systems nominal.
All right, all my weapons are set for chain. Thunderbolt weaponry are green to go. All right, let's do this. All right, so this is skirmish. We deployed on the right side of the map here on the eastern wall. So it looks like everyone, you know what? Go with Blue 4. Or go with these guys. Unless... Wait, where's everyone going? Everyone's moving around like headless chicken. Okay, scout mechs are moving. Okay, a majority of Blue 4 is like right around here. All right, so let's head north, facing north. Let's align the mech. All right, let's go.
I'm extremely close range, so won't do me any good to get into the top part of it.
Right, I could. I'll try to. Wait, who was that? That was Sharptooth. Sharptooth, this is Spaghetti. I'll provide extra security. I'll be on your 6.
10-4.
We got
Target acquired.
Dratus contact. Alright, we gotta help the Crusader.
Target spotted.
Multiple.
Target acquired.
Dratus sweep.
New target acquired.
We got
Get in really close.
multiple Dratus contacts. Alright, here we go. I gotta help him. He's moving too quick. Alright, that's Sharptooth. Yeah, that's Sharptooth the Crusader.
New target acquired.
Alright, hopefully we don't get flanked here. Greatest contact, Shadowhawk.
New target acquired.
What the heck? Wait, there's something coming down here. Alright, I'm gonna try to keep him company. I'm gonna be his battle buddy.
Target acquired.
Sensor sweeping. All right, launching UAV.
UAV activated.
All right, so we should tag this guy. It's a stone rhino. This is gonna be rough. Dang it!
New target acquired.
We're at the stone rhino. All right, I'm gonna go with this guy here. We're gonna be too bunched up. Dang it! We're gonna be too bunched up. Come on, guys, make your decision.
Around the corner here.
What the heck, Dio? All right, I'm going here. Someone could attack us this way. Duh.
New target acquired.
Okay. All right, waiting for tone.
New target acquired.
Dang it! What the heck, Dio? Waiting for tone. All right, firing. As long as this guy doesn't get in my freaking way. Dang it!
New target acquired.
Firing all weapons to bear. Jesus. There's one over here.
New target acquired.
Oh my goodness. Firing. Dang it.
New target acquired.
Waiting for tone. You know what? I gotta come up on this flank. This is ridiculous. What the heck? What the heck? You guys gotta reposition faster than this. What the heck, Dio? Right, there's a dude over here. Right, moving.
New target acquired.
We got multiples. Come on, dang it!
New target acquired.
You know what? We gotta push with them. We have to reinforce these. Oh, wait a
New
minute.
target acquired.
Jesus. Can we save him in time?
Target destroyed.
Watch out, Sharptooth. Coming into view.
New target acquired.
Right there.
New target acquired.
Firing. All weapons to bear. Bringing all weapons to bear on the bull shark. We got him, guys. Are you okay, Sharptooth? We try to cover you.
I'm dead, but that's cool.
Oh no!
Good. You can avenge
Target
me.
acquired.
Wait, I'm on the 6th. This is Gopher. All right, on your left, Gopher.
New target acquired.
Get him, Gopher. Get him, Gopher. We getting him? He's dead.
Target destroyed.
Got him. Okay. Where's Gopher? Where was Gopher? He was supposed to be in my right flank. What the flip? Why is he?
Acquired.
What the heck, Dio? All right, let's push
New
that target.
Acquired.
There's a dude up there.
Target acquired. New
Get this guy.
target Acquired.
Get this guy. Firing. Come on.
New target acquired.
We got lock.
Target destroyed.
We got him. We cleared him. What the heck, Dio?
New target acquired.
Waiting. Bringing all weapons to bear.
Critical.
Cooling down. We're gonna cool down. He's coming on this side. Waiting for tone. He's around here somewhere. That little bastard.
Target acquired.
There he is.
New target acquired.
Dang it, these guys. We gotta help this guy.
New target acquired.
What the heck? We got him. He can't evade all this. Come on.
LRM ammo at 25%.
What the heck? Dang it, this guy's
Target destroyed.
nice. That little bastard. Okay. How's the stream looking, guys? We're testing. Where the heck is everybody? I don't want to die. Wait, I see weapons fire. Weapons fire's coming this way, maybe? What the heck, Dio?
Target acquired.
Alright, so it's around here. Man, I am like so badly damaged. Where is there? Oh, there he is. He's up here. Right, I'm gonna move with you. Okay, let me see. Go for this is spaghetti. I'm on your 6. I'm pushing with you.
Roger that.
Last greatest contact was your bearing.
Gotcha.
We gotta get revenge.
I'm gonna take a walk upstairs.
Roger that. I'll stay low watching just in case you get flanked. Right, I'll stay low here.
Just got shot.
Wait, that sounded...
Close, guys.
He's here somewhere.
Yeah.
Bearing?
It's right at the bottom of the...
I'm getting nothing on Dratus.
It's right...
Target acquired.
There he is. All weapons to bear.
Target destroyed.
We did it! Woohoo!
Nice, you got it.
Yes! Revenge! Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so far so good. Alright, we're living. Alright, it is the Halloween Mech Warrior event, guys. It's all about the loot bags. We got 2 solo kills, guys. Whoa, that's the most I think I've ever had. 3 kill assists, 3 killing blows. Nice. We tried to save our teammate when he was pushing forward with his Crusader. Dang. Alright, let's see. How's this look? Alright, first match. Okay, I'm gonna go back and see. My Streamlabs dashboard has like a list. It has like this little section for like technical issues, and I could see if there's any red flags. So I'm seeing a lot of low bit rate. I'm seeing a lot of like connectivity, but I don't think we crashed. Okay, so let me see the stream. You guys let me know. How did that look? Was it blurry? Right, hold on, I'm trying to see. Pulling up the stream, and it might take it's taken like, guys, it's taken 7 restarts, almost 2 days to try to like iron out all the stuff that I was trying to, that I thought I was gonna get for free. Streamlabs, guys, it would be nice when it says you could, when you start the stream, it says, oh, you could dual stream for a price. You know, put it in the beginning, because it asks you to like register here. You know, what's your password there? Find what's the other platform you want to connect. Oh, we need to do double verification. So after you do all that, and then you're about to launch it, and then it says, oh, by the way, now that you're streaming dual, you need to upgrade it and pay for the upgrade. I'm like, what the flip? Guys, please make it easy. Okay. Now I got all this technical issues. When I started to stream, all my assets were all jumbled up. I was hearing music from different scenes, not from the main scene. Okay, so you see this scene? This is what I call the game room scene. I was hearing music from the starting soon, and there's no assets from the starting soon in this scene. I'm like, what? And then I was hearing sounds and things from my BRB. It was basically all the scenes were mashed, and I had to like figure out, how am I gonna separate that? How with the flip? What the flip? It's like basically I have to refresh each and every single asset. Like I have to like this. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Okay. All right, let me show you. So it's like this. I have to go to every asset and basically click it off and on. So it's like I would click this. Like, so if this is the game asset, I would have to go like that and go like that. Just as simple as that. But I have hundreds of assets. I have hundreds of like scenes, and it's just too crazy, music and sound effects, and I had to go click through each and every one. And then even then we were having trouble with the stream. Even then, guys, what the heck, Dio? All right, we're gonna test another game, guys. Let's see. Bong 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 bong. All right, let's see how this works. Hopefully everything's looking good or sounding good, guys. Should I make the sound effects? Might as well just test everything. Yeah, let's test the sound effects. Right, I like to hear the effects blasting. I guess this is okay, right? I guess this is okay. Alright guys, we're gonna do our second match. And then we'll see if Kaigan wants to hang out and play. You know, we should see if Kaigan wants to play the third match. But we're gonna test another match, guys, okay? Alright guys, here we go. So for those of you who are mech warriors, all you mech warriors out there, and new and hopeful mech warriors, right now take advantage of the Halloween mech warrior event. You just play a bunch of games, and I think you earn points and stuff like that to unlock loot bags. The more points you get, the more your loot bags are, and the more loot bags you get, the more you'll get like that one rare loot bag. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay guys, which one is the capture the flag? I do not want to play capture the flag. But, let's play, oh, they picked it for us. They picked it for us, guys. Bum 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 bam bum. So far, everything is looking good. I'm feeling a little bit calmer, even though I'm still feeling a little bit on edge, guys, because you have no idea how upset and tilted I was just trying to get... I wanted to do a secret hangout stream last night. So many attempts, everything crashing. I was like, what the flip? What the flip? So hopefully we maybe doing one full stream will clear everything out, like flush out or clear out all the cookies, that the unactivated cookies or something. I don't know. I'm not a tech person. But all I know is that everything changed the moment I wanted to try dual stream. I found out that you had to pay for it, which was tricking me because it didn't mention that at all. And then when I went to just start back from the beginning, as if I did, you know, because I said yes up to the point where you need to do the submit, but I didn't submit, so I just canceled. So I thought canceling it would be done, but no, there's things, I don't know what the flip. There's things that I wish that I could go back and just delete a lot of that stuff. So I thought maybe restarting the computer might flush everything clean. But I noticed that even my VTuber model tracking is like off or something like that. How does it look, guys? Does it look like it's choppy or something like that? Looks like it's choppy or something. What the flip? What the flip? Bum beam bum beam bum bum. All right, guys, here we go. Second match. We are in Bravo Lance.
Reactor online.
All right, guys, here we go.
Sensors online.
Can we get a rubber dub?
Online.
All right, we're under temporary contract.
All systems.
Under House Davion. Can we defend the planets from the invading clans? All right, so what are we? Oh, it's capture the flag. This is capture the flag. What the heck? Okay, we deployed on the left side of the map on the western wall. Our flag is here. Their flag is way on the eastern wall, right? Oh man, it looks like a majority of Blue Force going northward. So we're gonna go with this group. All right, we're gonna go with Blue 4 here. Oh, nice camo. What the heck? All right, stick together, guys. Just stick together. Dun 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 dun. Oh, look at that camo. That's pretty cool camo. Alright, let me pull up call signs. That's Boogeyman up on point. What is that? That's Skill Skull and then Samian. Alright, doing sensor sweep.
2 mechs, Echo 5.
Echo 5,
1
copy.
Echo 4. 2 Echo 4.
2 Echo 4, hard copy.
One jumping on top of
Target acquired.
Oh, there's one up there. Wait, do we have a friendly up there? Alright, maybe we could try to get him. Alright. I'm gonna try to peek this way.
Fox 3, you guys are walking into 2 heavies. We got a medium Fox 4 on the mountain above you guys.
Oh, there's a dude up here.
New target acquired.
Right, launching UAV.
UAV activated.
Right, we're holding a strong point just south of Charlie 3. Keeping an eye out.
Target acquired.
All right, I'm getting a sensor ping up on the from view up there.
Target spotted.
All right, we got to push to there.
New target acquired.
Wait, I wonder if they're pushing this way. But you know what? Am I the only one holding here? I'm the only one holding here. So you know what? We're gonna go this way. What the heck, Dio?
Target acquired.
Wow, no one shot down my UAV. It's still up there.
New target acquired.
Dang it, dang it. Alright, I'm pushing here quick. Alright, this guy's up in the mountain. Alright, there he is.
Target acquired.
There he is.
New
Alright.
target acquired.
Alright, you can't hide from up there. Unless you have anti-missile systems. All weapons to bear. Wow, look at all the anti-missile systems going crazy. Alright. But what the heck, Dio? That's crazy.
You got two.
There's another one waiting for Tone. What the heck? What the heck is going out the back here?
New target acquired.
Okay. Hopefully you gotta help our teammate.
Target
spotted. Waiting for Tone, waiting for Tone.
New target acquired.
We got Tone. What the heck? Ah! Wait, waiting for Tone. Shoot, I'm getting shot in the back. What the frick? They got a guy. Why don't they get rid of that guy up in the mountain for frick's sake? There's two up there. Engage. What the heck, Dio? Ugh. I gotta push with these guys. What the heck? Waiting for Tone, waiting for Tone. Firing. What the heck? Waiting for Tone. Okay. We'll stay right here. We'll try to bring all weapons to bear.
New target acquired.
Right into our base.
Dang, we lost guys already? What the heck? I just looked at the score. We lost half the company. Oh my goodness. Where the heck was...
Warning, incoming missile.
Oh my goodness, we gotta consolidate. We need to form, like, what the heck? What the heck? That was horrible. No, what happened to the communication like we had in the first match? What the heck? But we needed that chaos, guys. We needed to get that visual chaos to see how the stream was, how the stress of the stream was. Okay, let's see. Everything looks good. What the heck, Dio? We got rolled over. What the heck, Dio? I looked at the score. I was like, how did we lose half the company? What the heck, Dio? See, I don't like capture the flag. There's a meta. There's a way to it. There's a way to it, and no one commits. Like if it's capture the flag, for some reason we play defensively. It's either you play defensively or you play aggressively. But 90% of the time, everybody plays defensively. I think the best way the games that we've lost is that the opponents have gone full aggression. Like they've stayed in like combat spacing. Like they marched up as a full company. Like we were watching too many angles when all we really needed to do was stay together and just capture the flipping base. Look at this. You're in the middle of the... Yeah, that's it. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. There's no way you can catch the flag.
Damage.
Dang it. Well, GG's. But yeah, we didn't have any coordination at all. Usually if it's capture the flag, there's a majority of players will just clump up. That's where I like to go. But I was holding a left plank, and then the two guys that I was supposed to hold that left plank went somewhere else. It would have been nice to be like, Spaghetti, come with us. Like, dang it. Would have been nice. And that's the lowest space dollars we've ever earned. What the heck? 44,000. That's not enough. That's not enough to get like, I think that's like 1/2 a heat sink or something like that. What the flip, Dio? Right, let me see. Let me see if I could get the right, let me just check the stream. See what alerts that we've got on the dashboard. Wait, how's it look, guys? Did it look fine? Did the sounds come through pretty good? Boom, bing, boom, bing, boom, boom. Alright, I guess here, let me get into boom, bing, boom, bing, boom, boom. Okay, it's looking good. It's looking good. Here, I'll should I go on the Uber phone? Like I could go into the voice channel. And then let me let Kaigun who wants to play. Wanna play? Wanna play, Kaigun? I'm ready for some MechWarrior. Now, in terms of like the idea is we were gonna play. I thought we were gonna play some Battletech, but we might want to do some reaction. But I haven't had a chance to test that setup because I'm still hyper focused on making sure that like streaming and playing a game like is not gonna crash the stream. The second match I feel a little bit more comfortable, but let's see if we can get a third match. Oh, let's see if we have anybody here? Ooh, Kane's online. Kane's up and running. Hey, what's this? We're getting messages. We got messages. You guys want to see what the events are going on here? So right now, we have. Oh, wrong one. Future events. The Trick or Treat Phase 2. Oh, we don't have the Phase 2. Maybe the Phase 1. I know, probably Phase 1. Wait, we haven't completed that? What the heck, the hell? Oh no, we're slowly completing it. Man, you really gotta earn this. What the heck, Dio? And then there's the Shadowhawk challenge, but I think you have to pilot a Shadowhawk in order to get the rare Shadowhawk, but I don't know. Hold on, let's take a look. What does the Shadowhawk look? Is it a cool looking one? Alright, so Trick or Treat 2025 loot bag event. There is the October patch notes, the Icons Mech Pack. The Shadowhawk is available now. And then there's the Platinum Plated Icons 2025 Annual Rewards Program. But let me see the Shadowhawk. What the heck the hell? Alright, what is the Shadowhawk, guys? Is it a light mech? Or is it a medium mech? Wait, Shadowhawk. Here, Shadowhawk. Okay, let's see what's on sale. Boom, beam, boom, beam. Nothing on sale. Wait, is there different kinds of Shadowhawk? Wait, this is medium mech. Is there a Shadowhawk that's like an assault mech? Oh, we'll find out. Alright, so no. What about heavy mech? Is the Shadowhawk a heavy mech? Nope. So it's a medium mech. Okay, it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. This one looks pretty awesome. This rare one. This one, guys, for this one. Whoa! Look at the camo. It's like gold, like oxidized gold. What the heck? And what are those weapons up on its shoulders? It looks like 3 PPCs or something. What the heck, Dio? Wait, so what is this one? Wait, this one has 3 ballistics and 5 missiles. Oh, it's a LBX. I mean, we could get one. I mean, it's not that expensive. Do you guys recommend a good Shadowhawk? Wait, what's this one? 1 PPC, 1 LRM-15. No. 2 medium lasers. No. I want something with a Thunderbolt. 1 medium laser, LRM-2. This one medium laser, LRM-5. This one medium laser. I think the best one is this one, that rare one, the Shadowhawk S. This one, the gold, the oxidized gold. That's just too good. That's just too cool, guys. Bum 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 bum. All right, let's do this. Let's see, anything on sale here? Oh, let's see. I'm not a big fan of all the mechs. I just like the ones that are the classic ones. What's this one? Oh, there's a Piranhas. Right, Piranhas are on sale, but I think we got one of the best ones, or the most popular ones. And we got the most popular locust. What's this one? Anything here? Nothing really. Nothing that I see. Nah, there's really nothing. Oh well. Oh well. Alright, here we go. Alright, Kaigun, do you wanna play? Alright, let's try again. Let's do a third match. Usually, you know, third time's a charm. Third time's a charm, guys. Alright guys, so first match. Wonderful comms. Nice execution. Everyone was like on the same wavelength, keeping, you know, LOS of one another. They were aware of each other. We got that good. We had that awesome win. Second match, complete opposite. Lack of like, you know, any like decisive, you know, tacticals and stuff like that. The tacticals was undecisive and lacking. And we weren't aggressive enough. It felt like we played completely defensive, and you don't do that in a capture the flag. But the first match for skirmish, everybody, even one guy was like, you know what, I have to get up close, and I'll be like, you know what, I'll step up and I'll be your battle buddy. All right, we're gonna go skirmish. Bear claw, assault. What is that? Wait, is that capture the flag? Is that capture the flag? Oh no! Please, not to capture the flag, for flip's sake. For flip's sake. Let's see. Capture the flag. It is. I see a flag. Capture the base. Dang it. Oh well. Alright, let's get on the ready line. Click ready. We're in Charlie Lance. My teammates are Asperger, Days Neon, and Raiso. Okay. But how's everybody doing? How are you guys? How are the puppers? Are you guys doing good? How has your weekend been, everybody? You guys excited for season 2 of the One Piece? The One Piece season 1. I highly recommend it. Word on the streets also that there's a possibility of a Arcane season 3, but it's only word on the streets, guys. But we know for sure that One Piece season 2 will be, I think, in 2 more months. I'm not sure, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to Joe Magmanelio. Joe Magmanelio. He was the werewolf in True Blood.
All systems.
So he'll be playing a character. Nice. Alright, let's check the map. Is it? Yes, capture the flag. What the heck, Dio? We're all here. Right, so let's you know what? Let's stick with blue 4. I'm gonna stick with blue 4.
That would be the O button, which would turn your heat shutdown off.
Copy that.
Right.
Only if you know how to maintain your heat when you want to do
Alright,
that.
is that Sir Sigma? I think that's Sir Sigma, right?
Of course, I typically run it to shut down, then I override it after the shutdown.
That's
By that time,
Baggins.
you're under fire.
Is this Baggins?
Fair enough.
No, Hexmark.
Yeah, I'd rather overheat and kill myself than give them the points.
Hexmark, this is Spaghetti on your 6. I go here. Stick with blue 4. Blue 4 looks like they're moving with a purpose, guys. Alright. This is more like it, guys. Capture the flag. We stay in line formation. Sensor sweeping. Nothing on Dradis. On the top center of the screen is the compass facing. We're facing 42. Northeast. We've got Drata's contact.
Acquired.
I got Drata's contact. I gotta make sure there's room. Drata's contact there.
Acquired.
Delta 7, that's where a lot of them are right now. That's not fun.
Getting lock on in Delta 6. Lost it.
Alright, I'm gonna push in with these guys.
Target spotted.
It's gonna be tight fit.
Contact at Swan 7.
There we go, there we go.
Target spotted.
Are these guys dropping down? Yep, they're dropping down.
Target acquired.
Launching UAV.
UAV activated.
Alright, I need to support this guy.
Launch the volley
New
on
target
and that's
acquired.
All weapons to bear. Bringing all weapons to bear on the Argent.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Target spotted.
Kit Fox.
Copy, copy, copy. I'm trying to keep
Don't
that.
mess up the entire formation just because one guy's out of place.
Oh, that's permission 6 minus.
What?
New target acquired.
There he is. There.
Target
Target
acquired.
spotted.
Firing. All weapons to bear.
Is being
That guy can't escape our missiles. All weapons. Bringing in the rain on the Argent. Over. Right, he's tucked in behind the wall. Whew. Right, you okay? You okay, Sigma? How are you? Where'd that guy go? I wonder if he's flanking this way.
target acquired.
I think he's coming this way.
Target destroyed.
Nice. Nice.
One of the flankers was covered.
Hex marked the spaghetti holding station.
Target acquired. Target acquired.
It's coming in, it's coming in.
New target acquired. Target acquired. Destroyed.
Got him. Clear, clear, clear. Dude, I fell off the ledge.
Base is being captured.
Here, I'm gonna come back up here. But I'll stay low while he stays high. Alright, he's Oscar Mike. Stick with my battle, buddy.
Up on the base.
Target acquired.
Alright, Drata's contact. The Shadowhawk, we're moving forward. Alright, that's Hexmark. Hexmark's right above us.
They got
Base
me.
is being captured. New target acquired.
I won't be long for this world, but I'm coming to help.
We're pushing, we're pushing. Alright, stick with my teammate.
Two of them actively running the base.
Target acquired.
Alright, moving the flank this way.
New target acquired.
Ooh, that little bastard, she just tucked around that wall. There's another
New
dude over there.
target Acquired. Target acquired.
All weapons to bear. He doesn't see me. It looks like he's got anti-missiles.
Captured.
If I could just maintain... There's a dude over here.
New target acquired.
Weapons firing. If we could just take some of these guys down. Dang it! Wait a minute, I just looked at the score. We're doing pretty bad. What the heck, Dio? Pushing
Base
forward.
is being captured.
Pushing forward. What the heck, Dio?
New target acquired.
There's a guy coming this way. I gotta cover this dude. Dang it. Target, get this. If we could just take him down before he takes my teammate down. Come on, come on, come on.
50% captured. Base is being captured.
Dang it, dang it, dang it.
New target acquired.
No! That's it, that's it, that's it. Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. Jesus. We had good formation in the beginning, but what happened to my... I tried to save my teammate, but what the heck? Oh, man. Rough. That was rough. Alright. Early game, we did pretty good. We kept the flank, and then we rotated, but by that time, it was too late. Dang it. Dang it. At least we got one killing blow. But man, that's the lowest space dollars we've ever earned. 54, like 5 figures. Normally we get like 6 figures for even losing a normal match. What the heck, Dio? Alright, so how's the stream looking, guys? Alright, for those of you who are just popping in, I've been having a lot of system issues, and we've been trying to do some fixing and corrections and stuff like that. And it was all because we saw that we thought we had a chance to do dual streaming, so I could stream on my Twitch channel and my YouTube for free. Turns out after all the different, steps that I needed to get set up, at the final submission button, it said, oh, you need to pay to get upgraded. So I'm like, what the flip? Why didn't they say that to begin with? So that way I didn't have to do all that stuff. So since I didn't submit and I canceled it, I assumed that all the other steps would be, canceled too. But I think I have to manually cleanse all the cookies or some stuff like that. And it's ever since, it's just making my stream it's been rough. It's been rough trying to get a stream off the ground. This is the 7th attempt since last night. I wanted to stream Hangout with my friends last night, but I was so tilted. I was so close to dropping the F-bombs, the B-bombs, the F... Did I say the F-bombs? The F-word, the B-word? What the heck did I... So far, how's the stream look, guys? Does it look like it's messed up, or at least you hear... Is the sound cutting off? Because on my end, I'm seeing a lot of alerts. I'm seeing a lot of red alert, connectivity issues. Be aware. 25% connectivity issues. Be aware. Lagging, stream lag 10% and rising. What the flip? So I'm hoping that everything looks good. So I have to constantly look at my stream and then, just to make sure that it looks nice and not blurry all the time. And you know what? At this point, I don't mind if it's a little blurry, okay? I don't mind if it's a little blurry, as long as it's not I would say I would suffer 10% blurring, right? If it's 50% blurring, then that's not good. That's not good. It's not good, guys. But so far, everything looks okay, I guess. Let's roll here. And then, Kaiga, do you want to play some Mech Warrior? We could test it. We could test the match. So far, I really love my archer. You guys help me. Pat, help me build most of my mechs. Not so much build. We revised the builds. Okay, so the builds I have were not... It didn't feel fun. This one absolutely feels fun. So there's a lot... Here's my mechs. And I color coded them according to the units that were popular in the Battletech lore. So the green yellow, olive green yellow, Eridani Light Horse. So I have my light mechs are in honor of the Eridani Light Horse. And then for my medium mechs, they are blue and white. So that is the colors of the Lyran Guards. So in honor of the Lyran Guards. I have blue and white here. There's not a lot, but I have, I have the mechs that I have in my collection are inspired by the Battletech Tabletop Miniatures game and the Robotech, animated series. My heavy mechs are red and black. You guys know this, the Kellhounds. So we got the Kellhounds representing currently the Kellhound. And then chat helped me build, like, revise the builds on most of these mechs. And then my assault mechs are all black, the Grey Death Legion. The ones in white, the ones that you see that are not matching the color, I'm still debating on whether I want to sell them. Because I don't really need all these mechs, and I'm not... I mean, like, hello, Robotech, right? Robotech, you'll see the Archer running around in the background. You'll see the Crusader running around in the background, right? You'll see the Marauder running around in the background. You'll see the Warhammer and then the Rifleman, you know? And then in the tabletop miniatures game, you'll have the Phoenix Hawks, right? You'll have a Nova Prime, right? You'll have the Locust, right? You'll have the Locust. You'll have a Arctic Cheetah, you know? The Flea, you'll have a Flea. But out of all these mechs, I'm not familiar with the Vindicator. I have a Shadow Cat, but I'd rather have more Phoenix Hawks, to be honest. I got a Centurion that we won from one of the events previously, and we got a Nova Prime. I think the Nova Prime was on the cover of the Clan Invasion, I think. Wait, we're gonna do a reaction? You don't want to play game? Okay, I have to set it up. Okay, so we're gonna do a reaction, guys. Right, so we know that the game works. So let's do a reaction, guys. Alright, here we go. Let me set it up. Alright, this is gonna be interesting because usually I have my setup for reaction already set up, but I wanted to play game 2, so let's exit here. And then let's pull up the YouTubes. Alright, guys. Alright, so hold on. Let me go to let's get into the Goober first. Alright, so that way I could pull up the YouTubes here. I figured out a way. There was a way where I could pull up a YouTube and it would look nice. It looks like professional stuff. You know what I'm saying? Right, oh, hold on. Let me get here. Bum beam, bum beam, bum bum. Alright, we go YouTube here. I guess so. I figured out there was a cool way, right? I didn't know. I just found out that you could adjust the size of your capture, right? It's not just like default formatted, you know what I'm saying? It's not like default formatted. But, you could see that there's like you see that there's some kind of hiccup, right? Dang it. Alright, hold on. Bum beam, bum beam, bum bum. Alright, let's go here. Let's look at let's get a playlist here. Alright, we're gonna try practicing, right, for me, because I don't do enough reaction, but let's see if we could do one on the fly. Alright, so we have the great houses. Should we do the great houses, or should we do like what you guys call it, the like the clan invasion would be a very dynamic story, but the houses would be great. We could do the houses. So I'm pulling this up. Okay, let me get here. Wait, I got commercials. Okay, on the YouTubes. Here we go, here we go. Alright guys, give me 1 second. Alright, let's see if we can capture this, guys. Let's see if we can capture this. How do we... Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Alright guys, let's get into the game room and see how I could capture this and do the sizing of it. Wait, let me get it prepped, Kaigan, and then we'll go into the voice chat. It's a while to prep this. Okay. So we want to do a capture. So it's gonna be, we close this, we open this, and then we're gonna capture the YouTubes. Alright, we're capturing this. Alright, make sure that there's nothing gonna be doxed. Just want to make sure. Because sometimes your name will be on the top bar, but nah, can't get me. Okay, so here, and then I forgot, how do we size again? Wait, hold on. Is it Alt? Wait, Alt sizing? Okay, here, go screen. Okay, so there's there. And then I think we do Alt. Yep. There we go. That's how we capture it, guys. It's kind of cool. And then we go here, like that. The only thing is hard to see It's hard to see, guys. What the heck, though? Wait, hold on. Let me... And then transform, stretch the screen. All right, I think this is one. All right, so the great... Wait, you know what? Let me just play it so I could... It's hard to see because I don't see a border. All right, Comstar home video. All right, Comstar home video. All right, I'm setting it up. We're setting it up. The great houses of the inner sphere. We really want to showcase the Legion, right, guys? Wait, hold on. So let's drag this up, and then I'll drag this down like this. Does that open or not? Dang, I can't tell the... Wait, hold on. Let me go here. Okay, now I can see a little bit better. At least where the borders are. All right, set this up here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so Alt here. Should we do this here? Okay, I think this is good, right? I think this is good. Let me lock that there. And then I think... Hold on, let me just make sure.
This combine doesn't celebrate the godhood of ruler. The story.
I'm gonna get a
Dang these commercials.
Prototype.
the hardest thing.
Right, skip.
Story doesn't get any.
Okay, I think we shrink the sides here. Like this. So it looks cooler, guys. So it looks cooler. All right. Once I discovered this is interesting. I thought it was really cool. And then what we do is we stretch it we transform it, stretch the screen. Hopefully it'll fit. Yes! Oh, it looks so good. It looks so professional. It looks so professional, guys. Then we lock it. And I think we're good. We're good to go. Okay, let's get into... Let me open up... let's get into the voice channel here. All right, Kaigan. Everything's set. I have the voice channel good to go. Right, how's the screen? How does it look? This is so cool. Okay. Let me go here. Let me just make sure. How does the stream look, guys? Okay, hopefully it won't crash. Normally I like to have it prepped, but you know what? This is good. This is a good way to test, to do a stream test, a stream stress test, to make sure, you know, that everything is kind of fixed. All right, I'm looking at the stream right now. Doesn't it look so professional? Oh my goodness.
Test.
Hey, Kaigan! Well. Oh, let me get your model. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Get this here.
The last thing is to screen share.
Okay. Let me go Star Wars. And I think I have you saved here. Oh, your character's there. Oh, hold on. You're tiny. Wait, I thought I had you like a big pilot, mech pilot. Here. Let me go here.
Oh no! Hold that. That'd be. Hold on. Wait. Hold. Don't change the thing. Don't change the thing. That's on me. Because I do change models sometimes.
So this is gonna be our first time doing our screen test. Wait, hold on. Reaction. Oh, hold on. I gotta extend this thing here. All right, well, we're getting set up, guys. You guys get to see behind the scenes. So let me hold on. I need to extend this a little bit. So if I move this up, and then I could put this like this. Okay. And then I could stretch. I could lock it and then format it so it fit. There you go. I think that fits better. It looks so cool. Doesn't it look really professional, guys? It looks very professional. Bum. And technically this is Battletech / Mech Warrior. I could leave the Mech Warrior in the title, right? Here we go. And you guys notice you hear Kaigan like nice and loud. It's because I figured.
There we go.
I figured out. Oh, I finally figured out why everybody's like voice chat, like everybody's individual voice volume is different, because it was on my end. There's something on the Discord where I could put the settings so it outputs 200%, but on stream it's like around 90ish. So it may look like the numbers make it look like it's loud, but the actual sound that's being captured is actually really nice to hear. So that's pretty good.
Okay, that should look better on the model.
Nice, nice. Okay, let me adjust it here. Boom, boom. Where did I put the thing? Oh, there you are. Okay, so let me unlock this so I can move you around. Wait, talk so I can see you glow.
Test, test.
Nice. Okay, okay. I'll put you like right there. And then inside there. It's hard to tell. Oh, wait. Glow again?
Test, test.
Ah, perfect. I got you right in there. All right, perfect, perfect. Okay, so let me lock your model in. Go here. Okay. All right, one more sound check.
Test, test.
Perfect. All right, should we have a wait, let me see. Do I have let me see. Everything looks good. All right, and then now we need to do the okay, we're doing a stream stress test. Hopefully, okay, so far we played 2 games and I saw on my end the possibility that it might crash, but it actually like was able to, I guess, smooth out any like there's a way where it's clearing out the cache at the same time or something like that that's unused and smoothing it out. So, with the longer we stream, I noticed that the models on my end are like hiccuping. They're not moving. It's like you see me moving my head like left and right, but to me, on my monitor, this is what it looks like. This, like it looks like that, right? Instead of like
Quick
like
question.
Mm-hmm.
Are those the only weapons you have on that mech with the Thunderbolt?
Yeah, Chad helped me build it. Chad helped me build it.
Why?
Because
Why?
no, we got a lot of kills. We were doing so good with it. It's the best. It's meant to be for support, I guess.
Yeah, but the thing is, once you're out of support, you're out of ammo, you're just a piece of scrap.
I know. We figured out how to. We figured out to be aware of the ammo. We're now aware of it, so we don't really run out. We usually, by the end of the match, we try to target at least having an extra 20. If we could hover around 20, before we were draining, and then I got it to like around 20 to 30 ammo at the end of a match, like of a winning match. So I figured out, okay, I don't need to spam everything. I could fire all weapons to bear as long as I have full line of sight. But if they're just like tucking around the corner and there's, of course I'm with another player. So if they're distracting, I wait for the opportunity till they expose like more of of the mech, and then I bring all weapons to bear. So you'll see it on some of my streams. That's awesome.
The match before, you were wasting a lot of ammo.
I know, but some of these guys I'm trying to kill, but I'm like, dang, I can't. Like,
well, the thing is, like,
oh, hi, Niche.
AMS is gonna mess you up big time because it's only one projectile going out.
I know. When I see tracers of anti-missile, I wait because usually there's a LRM guy, and I'll try to stay on target. I try to. I've slowly adapting to the archer, and it's the most fun. I'm having the most fun with the archer. So I'm figuring. I think that's my play style. It's a little bit more methodical. It gives me a chance to be more like aware instead of just like gung-hoing it and stuff like that. Oh, wait a minute. How do we wait? Do we do? How do we do that thing? Are we sharing? You're streaming too. So where's the?
No. I'm not streaming.
So we share the.
You screen share your screen so I can see what you're seeing.
Okay.
Because your stream is delayed.
Okay, so I put it. It's in the Discord, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I go to the Discord, and then hi Niche. Oh no, I do Thunderbolts. I pilot an archer with, was it 6 Thunderbolt 5s, or was it like 1, 2, 3, or 8 Thunderbolt 5s? It was one of those. And I like it way better than an LRM. It's, for some crazy reason, I just like the way it has that little bit faster speed than the warming up of an LRM. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me go to.
Well, yeah, it has the speed,
Let
it
me
has
go
the
to
power,
Discord.
but you don't have the volume. That's what you're missing.
I know.
That's the one thing it doesn't have is volume.
How do I?
So yeah, AMS is easily gonna counter you.
Wait, how do I? Wait, share your screen. Wait, hold on. Hopefully we share the right screen, and then it'll let me pick. Right. We want to share the YouTube one. Yeah, I think this is it. And I'm sharing it just to you, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then, so that's right.
Perfect.
How do I want to make sure because, right, it's been a while. And do I leave? Okay, so there's this little thing in the Discord that shows what you're seeing. Do I leave it up? I don't like shrink it, right? I don't like delete it. Like you're not like what do you call it? Like it's not like a key code that lets you see it and I don't have to have it up on the side, or should I just have it up on the side just in case?
I think you need to leave Discord up so it can just be like on a back window.
Okay. So I'll leave that there. And then does it let you here? Let's test it. Do you hear what's coming through here?
English really for some time at least. To their
Like,
credit,
do you hear it?
House Davion was not a despot.
Like if I,
They encouraged
No, hold
them
on.
to-
It might be on me.
but when they hit
Play
it,
it.
hurts. That's true. Now I'm guessing niche, is it niche or niche? You know, like that, my favorite techno band. Do you remember Nights Areb? Do you remember an industrial band called Nights Areb, guys? The Where is the Youth? Like that. Remember that? Shout, don't shout. Or is it niche? Oh wait, so wait, is it one of those Kaigan where we both have to click the sound at the same time, or I click it and you see it?
Play it for a bit.
Okay.
Still champion free speech, individual
I don't
liberties,
hear
and personal
anything.
freedom.
Wait,
But in
let
the
me.
end, it is a monarchy.
Wait, why is it? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Is there a sound? Wait, if it says I'm sharing the screen, that means I'm sharing like the output, like even the sound, right? Let me see. Boom, boom. Here, let me try again.
Considering the mostly beneficial rules
Anything?
are not citizens.
Negative.
Dang it! Commercials. Wait, hold on. Let's get rid of this here.
What's good, y'all? It's pro football player Jake Ferguson. Under Armour heat gear makes the game easy.
Okay. You pause this preview to save your resources. Like the first time you said it, but with a T. Wait, hold on. The first time you said it, but with a T between the I and the... Oh, like niche. Like niche or niche. I forgot which way I said it first. Okay, so we're trying to figure this out, guys. Hold on. Why is it? So I'm sharing the screen. There should be an output. Hold on. There should be an output. Right? It's already outputting the thing. Okay, I could see that you're watching it. Stream settings. So wait, if I go to the stream settings, quality of the stream is 30 FPS. Wait, I should do it. Should I share the stream at 60 FPS so you can see more?
Nah, 30 is fine. I just mainly need to hear.
Oh, it says it's sharing the stream audio. The audio is there's a check mark. So you should hear it. Audio's coming through. So let me see if the output. I have my output at max. So let me look at my audio output. All right, so I have both input and output max. So I have it at 100. Output is 200%. So you should more than hear it. And then for input is 100%. So you should hear that too. Let's see. Let me click on video. Everything looks good. I'm looking at the sound. I'm just double checking. Hardware looks good. Okay, my end looks good. Wait, let's play it again. Here, hold on, guys. I'm gonna go here.
Compression locks me in.
Maybe if I make it
Not
loud.
Yet, anyways. In fact, in the Confederation, citizenship
Can
must
you guys
be
hear
earned,
the video?
and the
Just we're
state
doing a
is the
sound check.
sole measure of
Can
that
you guys hear
esteem.
the video through the
Children
stream?
are legally, in every way, words of the state.
Should I make
are
it louder than
limited
normal?
provisional
See, I hear it on the
supervision granted
stream.
by the government to their parents or other assigned legal
Do you have your
guardians.
Discord like
At age
locked?
15,
Like the
each
sound?
child
I have
is
out. The
thoroughly
output is
examined
going.
by the government to see if they have a proven commitment to the state. Those who are deemed worthy
Not
gain
nice.
citizenship.
More like
Those who are
positive.
not are given a grace period for a second
Nip-
evaluation.
nip positive.
But failure to measure up
Oh,
as a
positive,
citizen for
not
any reason
nice.
results in becoming
Not
a
nice.
non-citizen,
Niche. Like that.
which are frequently
Like
referred to
niche.
as state servitors. By the succession wars, this non-citizen class
Wait,
had
let me
become
see.
an enormous
But we're testing, guys. We're testing because I've been having stream issues, and so we're seeing on my end. Looks good. We're preparing to do a reaction for the BattleTech 101, the Great Houses of the Inner Sphere. Just, for those of you who are new to the BattleTech, aka MechWarrior, aka BattleTech universe. Wait, I'm multitasking everything, guys. Wait, hold on. I'm reading chat and trying to get this sound. It says it's outputting. I have a check. Wait, is there? Wait, how do we? Hold on. I've seen. I'm looking around here, and yes, I've seen Dom's demo do this, where he would like share the screen, open the soundboard. Soundboard looks. Oh wait, should I? If I'm sharing the screen and it shows green, is the soundboard the same thing as? It should be green also. Hold on. If I open the soundboard, what does it look like? No, it's like something else. Okay, so the soundboard is like special sound effects. Like if I want to put a horn or something like a. Okay, so it's showing good. I see it. Share stream audio check marks up. Wait. Usually if I uncheck it and check it, maybe I just need to refresh it because I've been having technical issues. So I'm going to try this, Kaigan. I'm going to uncheck it and then check it again. So now it should show. You should be able to see it or hear it. Well, wait. Hold on. Let me play it.
is part of the population, a population that
Negative.
was state.
But it's
had
wait
no
when
rights
I turn it on,
and
it's
was
moving.
legally state property.
Yes.
This was
Why is it okay?
Do you see an option that says use an experimental method to capture audio?
Like where? Like on the Discord?
Yes. System audio. Check Discord and system audio setting.
Wait, under user. Okay, so under user, I'm looking under. Let me see. Like I'm looking under voice and video. So under video, let me see. So input, the output is going out. Right, I have output, voice isolation, studio, custom. Okay, voice activity, voice processing, sound, automatic gain. Nothing under video. Wait, hold on. Let me escape out of that. And then let me see. Sorry, guys. Thank you for your patience, everybody. We're trying to. Okay. Usually, right, accessibility, notifications. I don't really see anything like that. Like no experimental thing. Windows setting. It wouldn't be a Windows setting because it's outputting. Wait, accessibility, connections. Okay, video shows pops up preview every time you turn on a video. Dang it. Hold on. Let me go here. Let me see.
reversed in 3052 when
Okay, it
Sun
says,
Tzu
we
Liao
paused this
became
preview to
chancellor
save
and
your
abolished servitor
resources.
slavery. Not all Capellan chancellors are assholes.
All right. Nothing with the commercial or at all, or
I'm off to see the wizard.
Nope.
all right. I'll uncheck the share stream audio. Alright.
Alphaba,
It
they're
should
coming
be.
for you.
Dang, I wish Meowie was here so she could at least come in the Discord and see if she could hear it
This is between
too.
the wizard
And I
Wait, hold on.
run.
Let's skip.
Most,
Let's
though,
go back to the beginning.
but are most
We'll freeze. I don't know. I have no idea. Like, it says there's nothing you're not getting on your... Wait. Let me see here. Soundboard stuff. But sound check is positive. Okay, it's great. Okay, thank you, Niche. Thank you. Ah, Nietzsche. The ish at the end makes it a ch. Oh, niche. Ah, not niche. Niche. Ah, I see. Niche. Ah. It's like Trent Reznor style. Niche. You know, it's like what's the it's like that style. The industrial music style. Where is the youth? Alright, I'm trying to... I have no idea. Dang it, Meowie! Are you watching Meowie? Like, why is it... She does this a lot. She shares videos with her community, so... What the heck? Right, I have your thing. Right. Everything's looking good here, but... Output... Wait, output options. Let me look at the output is... Okay, output's at 200. Video is showing being outputted, and then whatever is associated with the video the sound should be part of it. What the heck? Well, at least it's good. At least we're figuring it out. We're testing it out. Like, I've done my own reactions. Have you ever done a co-reaction? Is there like a something where like maybe I'm not looking at?
I've done them, yeah, with another streamer, but I don't know how she does it.
No, but
All I know is
did they share it with you through the Discord like how I am?
yes.
But it should be
sweet
easy.
the same,
It should be
and that they are all
it should be easy. So I heard all the audio of the video, by the way. Okay, so that's good. That's good. Yeah, we're trying to do a reaction together, and so I have the video, the YouTube, so that way Kaigan could see it too. So he could see it visually, and then he sees it when I turn it on. You know, when I turn it on and off. But the audio, he's not receiving it. But on my end, it shows that everything is pumping out. Everything's being outputted. So I don't know if it's maybe like I'm not connecting properly. Let me see. Okay, you hear it fine in the stream. Well, let's figure a workaround. Maybe like 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Oh wait, hold on. Dang it. How do we
let's try something real quick. Let's go to the pupper phone because I know this channel is very restrictive.
Oh, the Uber. Okay. All right. So let me disconnect here, and then. All right. So let's go to the pupper. All right. Nice. All right. Sound check.
Yep.
All right. You guys can hear. All right. So let's share, and then we'll do this again. All right. I heard the sound, and then here we go.
very nice to each other. They also possess vast arsenals of planet-killing weapons.
Let me see. Let me go to the settings of the video again. It literally, there's only 3 things. Like, is it streaming? Yes, there's a check mark. The quality is 30 FPS. So maybe I should do 60 FPS for you, or does it?
No, that has nothing to do with it. It has to be with the audio.
And then share stream audio is check. What if I uncheck it and then stream it and then uncheck it? Maybe that might refresh it. Okay, here we go.
Weapons, and on special occasion,
it'll be fun if you hear it.
Them out
right?
For public
you don't
display.
hear it, right?
If you want to know,
no.
Like if I uncheck it, then you hear it. Okay, so now I'm gonna check it. There we go. And then let me go to the more options here. Well, we'll just have to. I guess we'll just have to figure out workaround.
Why
Okay,
these
here
people
I'm
are
running it.
fighting over such a vast
anything?
territory and why they're so
Negative.
committed to erasing portions of their collective industrial
Let me
base.
see. Let me see. Well, we could. Dang it. Right, it's in. Edit the channel. Hold on, let me look at the edit of the channel. If there's permissions, it should auto. The permission should be auto for anything that's being.
Yeah, it should be. But remember how we were having trouble some other time when like there was like no permissions for anyone.
Voice channels. Right, we have voice channels.
I know it's not me because I was watching a stream last night where somebody was screen sharing. I could hear the audio and everything.
Wait, let me see. Let's try this. Okay. Right, let me save the changes and then we'll see if this one little thing works. Okay, ready? Let me go back and uncheck and then check again. And then here we go.
History and civilization. Well,
Does that
it's
work?
complicated.
Negative.
My best
Dang
take
it.
on
There was a setting that says allow audio for the. Right, so under the pupper channel, under permissions, I put share video. But if you're visually seeing it, then it's okay. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Sorry for the delay, guys. It's taking. If it's taking too long, we'll just hold on. Let me figure out a workaround. Dead links. Okay, voice message.
Is your stream volume muted on Discord?
No. I figured it out. Everything's open at 100% input, 200% output. That soundboard.
I'm trying to find this other setting that it says to try.
Choose video. Pops up preview mall. Hold out every time.
Experiment method.
It shouldn't really be. It should be something really easy. Like it's like either in or out. That basically. So everything. Now I did have some technical issues. So what I had to do was like turn it off and on. So I'm turning.
Okay. Go to voice and video settings.
Wait, voice. Yeah, I'm on that.
Go to the video tab.
All right, got that.
Where is it? Where was it? Hold on. Below the pictures, streaming, the fifth option.
It's called stream under streaming. Fifth option. Use an experimental method to capture audio.
Is that checked?
No. Turn that on.
Try that. Try it.
All right, here we go. Right, so here we go. I'm gonna go back to the source. I'm gonna uncheck audio, check it back so it refreshes, and then here we go.
on it is a two-parter.
Yes.
And most people
There we
find
go.
That was
a bit
it.
much.
The experimental.
Yeah.
So let
All
this
that?
serve as a basic
Okay,
introduction
yay,
to your
we're good to go,
career
we're
in
good
the
to go.
world of mech warriors and a primer on who's most likely
so-
to kill you.
so I just have to
when you
figure out how loud
inevitably
it's gonna
fuck
be.
up. But firstly, a disclaimer.
I mean, I can control
I'm
it on my
biased.
own.
Okay.
As a
But for the
mercenary
stream,
plying
guys, is
his
it
trade in the
perfect
inner
volume,
sphere,
guys? It's
I
in the
find
yellow.
Concepts such as warfighting ideology
I think it's
largely a
in the
position
yellow
of
for
what
you
can
guys.
cover up from the general public.
Reset the video.
Mainly because
Nice,
at the end of the
nice,
day,
we're
in
good
the
to go.
inner sphere, it's about you and your
Nice. Thank you so much, local Mish. Okay, let's start it from the beginning, but I'm gonna BRB really quick, guys. I gotta go pee.
You know what? I'll do that too.
Okay, guys, we're finally ready to react. Okay, for those of you. Oh wait, no, you know what? Oh, we'll do all the intros. Wait, it's loud enough. Okay, so I'll lower it by maybe 50%. You will figure it out. I have work tomorrow, so bye and have fun with the BPL video. It's awesome. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Nietzsche. You have a wonderful, wonderful evening. All right, guys, we're going to BRB. Thank you guys for keeping us company here in the cringe. Well, it's our first time. Well, my first time for doing a collab reaction to one of my favorite of the science fiction genres, the Battletech universe, aka MechWarrior, aka Robotech, aka Battletech, aka Bat. So grab your drinks and snacks, and we will BRB. All right, guys, we are back. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience, everybody. All right, it's gonna be exciting. I just left my. I guess it's okay if I just left the MechWarrior part up, because as after we do our reaction, we might be able to get 1 or 2 matches in for the MechWarrior, guys. All right, here we go. Here we go. Can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. All right, let me know. And I'll adjust the volume, chat. Oh yeah. Oh, it's like we're watching like a Blockbuster video. Beating badam. Whoa, Black Pants Legion. A basic manual for new mech warriors. Today's lesson: the great houses of the inner sphere.
Mech warriors to the inner sphere, where you can keep whatever money you find so long as you live to payday. For our first
wow,
lesson,
look at the art. It looks so good.
Slide, please. So the great houses are the 6, or for people who can actually calculate
who is these? Okay, so I know about Draconis Combine, the Lyran Commonwealth, the Federated Suns, the Free Worlds League, Capellan, and there's this new one. I've never heard of the Ryoja. What's that? Wait, hold on. The Ryoja. There's a right. Wait, hold on. Let me go back here. There's like a. Did they add that recently? Because FASA, the original company. All right, so BattleTech was once owned by a company called FASA, but because they were copying mech designs that were based off the Robotech animated series, they recently lost a lawsuit, and then a new company came out. Did they like added new lore? I guess. So I see. Right. So I know these. Okay. Lyran Commonwealth, right? The Free Worlds League, Capella Federation, Federated Suns, Draconis Combine.
There's also one more, the one that the clans tore through, that they were given like a very small portion.
Yeah, but
I forget what the name is.
Not the Rassilog? Is it Rassilog?
Yes, that one. That one.
Okay, so I'm guessing we're seeing like the beginnings of when this was once the Star League, I guess?
Well, no, because this is with I believe the clan invasion at the top.
Oh, wait, why were you? I thought we were looking at. I thought this was like the history. Wait, he's probably going to go through the history of it.
Great houses are the 6, or for people who can actually calculate projection power on an appreciable strategic scale.
Yeah, clan
the
invasion.
4 peer states.
Ah, there it is.
Remnant,
The clan
one hermit
invasion.
kingdom that make up the inner sphere. No, it's not a perfect sphere. Yes, there are things outside of it. Today we're talking about these assholes. These are the great houses of the inner sphere, and they're all very different in varying ways, but are mostly the same, in that they are all occasionally not very nice to each other. They also possess vast
See, the thing
arsenals
is, like,
of planet-killing weapons, and on special...
How did all this start?
Oh, how it really started?
Yes.
Oh, because of the death of the president, like the Star League. There was a president of the Star League. The Star League commanded basically and unified all the different houses. But when the leader of the Star League died without an heir, everybody said, they started vying for the throne, basically.
Which was what, Ian Cameron?
Well, no, each and every one, like someone, like a prince, like one of the princes of every house had a prince, and I think one of the houses dared to just put it out there, like, we're in line for the heir, but then the other houses started piping up, and then an argument turned into basically like a internal war, and then that's what happened with the Star League, with the members of the Star League. They were under the command of whoever was at that time the leader. What do you call it? What's that word, guys? If the king dies, there's somebody that's not the king, but not the vice king, but they are temporary.
A regent.
Yeah. Like a regent, right? So every house had a regent, and the members of the Star League were under, I guess through like documents, or I don't know, like not oath, but like through legalities, had to follow the regent's commands. But each regent had their own whatchamacallit? What's that word, guys?
Agenda?
Yeah. Each had their own agenda. And once the general of the Star League military force, General Kerensky, started seeing things like that, he decided to say, you know what? We're out of here. I'm not going to be responsible for the destruction of the oath. They were given an oath to protect all the peoples of the inner sphere. And then thus once it started breaching into like invasion of each other's properties, Kerensky decided he had a secret meeting and with all his high advisors, and it was a volunteer basis only, right? So those that volunteered decided to do what's called the Exodus, and they left for unknown space to the outer periphery. So to temporarily disappear, right? So what happens is during that time, they founded their own system of planets, 5 planets, right? 5 habitable planets, which would be indoctrinated into their culture of the clans of 5, like they're called the stars. So their lances are in forms of 5 instead of like 4, which is the inner sphere. And they're
okay. So here's the thing I understand
was them out for public display.
Pause it.
I just wanted to put a picture.
So the thing was, like, wasn't everything under the rule of Cameron?
Cameron, I think, was he the leader of the Star League at that point? Like Prince Cameron?
I believe so. Because you had the last guy, which was what, Ian Cameron, the one that was off by Amaris.
Yes, Amaris, yeah.
Okay, so after that, after all that's over, the thing that I got was that somebody from House Liao assassinated someone that triggered this whole thing, this whole civil war within the inner sphere. That's how I understand it.
Yeah. Well, one assassination opened up the floodgates for all the other houses to start thinking like that. Every house has their own black ops, kind of, and they weren't used, that much. But once there was an assassination and investigation, led to each house had their own investigators and they had their own opinions, and of course somebody was always worm-tonguing whoever was getting that information to try to warp view and stuff like that. So there were those that didn't want to incite war, but of course the warmongers were trying to incite people in power, princesses, queens, and all that stuff. Just to, hey, you know what? Maybe they put a hand in it and stuff. Members of this house or that other house, the money funnel from this house. So basically, it became a jumble. and it became so convoluted at the same time. Like a lot of things were happening at the same time. Distrust, information gathering was either fake or true, but they didn't know how much to trust because they've never experienced something like this before. None of the houses have. They've had prosperity for all this time, right? And then meanwhile, like you have Comstar, which is responsible for basically like the science division kind of the science. It's basically, if you think of Comstar as like
Base AT&T,
like AT&T, yeah, like AT&T, right? And they're in it for their own thing outside of war. They don't want war, but which one side is going to want more AT&T services, right, than the other, right? And then, or maybe all of them will want AT&T services. So so they saw their agenda to it too. But poor Star League, right? They were. It looked like a majority of them had the same belief that General Kerensky had, where they were oath-bound, honor-bound, and they were there to try to help, the benefit of mankind. And then they started seeing everybody's true colors coming out and stuff. Neighbors that were once allies are like hated each other and stuff like that.
Which was the big thing that triggered it? Was because I think it was Liao assassinated someone from either the Draconis Combine or from the Davian.
It was Davian.
Okay.
Wait, there was an assassination with a high-ranking person in House the Davion, and then Davion, because they didn't like their neighbor, the House Kirita, automatically, they were
assumed it was them.
They assumed it, but the information was that they were getting was half true, half not, right? They couldn't confirm.
Right.
So, they were led to believe, and it's kind of like logic because, they didn't like them. So all they had to do was like nudge them a little bit to say, hey, it was House Kirita. And then that's when the full out war between the two largest of the houses was Kirita and Davion. They had a border and they just basically went to war with one another. Meanwhile, the other smaller houses were trying to figure out strategic ways where they could take advantage of that without ending up being on the bottom of the barrel and stuff like that. But basically they were all on a path of just, what's that thing? What's that movie, guys? The Foundation, with the Asimov guys. You guys watch that science fiction show, the Foundation? And it's a science fiction story that spans like thousands and millions of years, right? So when the Innisphere went into turmoil, they weren't seeing what would happen in the 10 years, 20 years, like what would happen in 30 years down the time, right? So they were destroying their own manufacturing company buildings, right? They were destroying, they were killing their scientists. They were killing the other house's scientists, and in return, their scientists were dying too, right? And then basically, you lost the knowledge to manufacture
and you enter the Dark Ages.
mechs. And then that's when the Dark Ages came in. And then that's why everybody wants to salvage your mechs. And then, but what was really interesting is this made pilots become more better with their tactical warfare, where they could aim at the cockpit. They have strategic strikes on other mechs because they cannot destroy like the arm or the leg. So they became very, very good sharpshooting, with whatever mech they were piloting. So it forced pilots to become a little bit more strategic and more technical with their warfare. Which was good, because if it wasn't for that, the clans would have wiped them out, right? So the clans didn't expect them to have this technical expertise in terms of fighting,
If you want to know why these people are fighting over such a vast territory and why they're so,
but it's really, it's an amazing lore. There's so many books that I highly recommend you guys could enjoy to read.
It's complicated. My best take on it is a two-parter, and most people find that
two-parter.
I think it's like 5 hours long. I've seen the whole thing.
Oh, for this whole 101, the Battletech 101?
No, the Amaris Civil War.
Oh, that one.
Fuck up.
It is very long.
A disclaimer.
Oh my goodness.
Biased. As a mercenary plying his trade in the Inner Sphere, I find concepts such as warfighting ideology largely a position of what you can cover up from the general public. Mainly because, at the end of the day in the inner sphere, it's about you and yours, and smoking craters tell no tales. They make a hell of an autocannon.
Nice.
See, okay, pause it.
Okay.
So here's the thing I find interesting, that like the companies that we know today are still alive in this era.
Like the manufacturing companies?
Like, General Motors, you have
yeah.
Steel,
those that were able to
yeah.
survive. Yeah, those that were able to survive up until the clans. And usually those scientists would be more closer to the upper echelon leadership. Like they would be closer to like the inner circle of like House Davian, like those guys.
Coming into BattleTech, that's one of the things I found fascinating, was the companies that we know today, like the auto manufacturers, they're still alive as weapons manufacturers again.
Yeah, yeah. It's quite interesting. My favorite, I think, I think, isn't the Inner Sphere War is done in like 100-year segments. Like, so like, let's just say, for example, the year 2900, then there's the year 3000, and then 3100. Like, I think they're like,
I think it goes longer.
Is it? Because I remember my favorite is a particular year. Like, I think 3040 to 3080 or something like that. That was during, I guess, that was the time when I think the Locusts, like a bunch of like these classic mechs that basically it's when the Robotech mechs started like being prominent. That was when FastSaw started, putting the lore for, let's put these designs for Robotech and hopefully we don't get sued, but they did get sued. So a lot of the designs in later years, would showcase variants of that, but not actually copying the Robotech.
What's it called? The Wars of Ascension, right?
I think it was, I forgot what it was. I had a friend that like was so, like he knew, like, I had my technical readout. I think it was 2700 to 3200 or something like that. So I think it was the first Inner Sphere War. And then there was the second one, right? And then we entered the Dark Ages. And then after that, there was the third Inner Sphere War or something like that. Right.
Let me see what Google says.
And then wasn't there like the War of Comstar, right? Stuff like that.
Comstar is, I think, after the clan invasion.
Comstar.
That's like around the Word of Blake, right?
Yeah, Word of Blake. I think no, it was before. Because what happened is, Comstar, I don't know what happened. For some crazy reason, Comstar and their scientists created this narrative that their technology was like religion based. Like, it became a religion. They became like a religious, I don't know, technology became the symbol for religion, and they were pushing that narrative with the people who were suffering. Not like the people that were
Secession War.
Yeah, that's right. The Secession War. Yeah, that was my favorite.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
The first one is 2786 to 2821. So that's like 40-ish years.
Yeah, it's like around 100 blocks and stuff. Kinda.
Hold on. Let's see. Second one is about 34 years. Third one is 160-ish years.
Mm-hmm.
And the fourth one is 2 years.
2 years. And then I think after that, then the invasion begins. I think
it begins like 20 years after the fourth. Yeah,
the fourth. Okay.
Around there.
Fourth Secession. Okay. And that was when, okay, I see. Okay. All right. So I kind of like, so the first Secession War, you had like, now I'm basing this on the BattleTech tabletop miniatures. So you could play with mechs that had like amazing high damage output. The heat sinks were like triple heat sink. You could play with those miniatures and stuff like that, and it felt really powerful, right? So after a while, when I started playing those, in conjunction with reading and learning a little bit about the lore, when the second Secession War busted out, it's kind of interesting. That one had all the mechs that look like Robotech, and of course, everybody wants to play those miniatures, right? So you had the Archer, the Locust, the Crusader, you had all that Marauders, so that one. And then the heat sinks were not as powerful. The weapons were not as mega, but you could still last, I guess, playing, you could play long tabletop games versus if you played trying to simulate the first Secession War, mechs died after like you could probably get a good tabletop game in like probably about 2 hours. But when the second Secession War came out, I remember hanging out at my hobby shop, and we would play like one round of games for a BattleTech that lasted like 6 hours. Like the store would open at 8 and it would close at 6. We would be almost, not really, but almost kind of finished with the whole campaign, right? So and we would have, okay, so the rules were each person at the hobby would build 400 tons of mechs, but no more than one lance. So everybody had one lance of mechs, and then we would pick sides. So like maybe like 3 players would have their full, they would have their company. So we would try to see how many companies we could have on the table, and then whatever is left over, we would have those guys be absorbed in, so that way we would have like the odd group. So it would represent like the ragtag units and stuff like that, right? So then we would secretly roll, right? We would secretly pick a number, right? And that number is who your ally is with. So if I had number 1, we would, but the thing is, you don't know who the ally is. You would have to kind of figure it out, right? And stuff like that. So we had this like fun, like social aspect to it. And remember, guys, this was back when there was no like cell phones and stuff like that. And, there was no Google or tutorial how to play like tabletop miniatures. We just basically got the box set and then we busted it out. We read like one paragraph of lore and we said, hey, this looks cool. And we saw Robotech miniatures. We painted them up, glued them down, and we put them on a table and stuff like that. So
basically, like maybe one game you'd be allied with, say you were Draconis Combine, you'd be allied with Davian. Then another game you'd probably be allied with like Marek or something.
Yeah. Well, what we did was we if you had the number 1s would be would be Kirita, then the number 2s would be like the with Davion, and then the 3s would be Lyran Commonwealth. So what we did was we would have them pick where they would want to deploy on the table. So we would have this huge table that's like, like those like middle school, not middle school, like the college tables that are like huge. So imagine like, I don't know, like 12 feet by 12 feet table. Right.
Yeah.
And it would be decked out with, every person would be responsible for painting like a building or terrain. And then once we put it all together, it looked fantastic. We had streets, right? We had like neighborhoods and stuff like that. It was, someone brought in Matchbox cars to line them up parked on the street. So it looked like micro machine cars. So next to a BattleTech, it looked like a tiny little car. So we really, I remember everybody was so excited to try this quote unquote, what is this BattleTech? What is this? Like it just came out, like it was on a shelf, and we didn't recognize. We ignored the first Secession War because we didn't recognize the mechs. But the moment we saw a Crusader on it or a Marauder, especially, we were like, "Hey, what's this Robotech game?" And then people started reading it, and then over time, immediately it wasn't Robotech, but they hooked us. We were already hooked to the game, and then we started reading the lore, the books. I remember there were no novels, and then all of a sudden, like novels were popping up on the shelves, like these stories and books about the Grey Death Legion and Cranston Snord's mercenary unit. I'm like, what the flip is this?
See, my first experience with BattleTech is I played Mech Warrior 3. I think was my first Mech Warrior, and I knew like some of the mechs. And then one day I'm at the comic book store, and I see like this pack of cards that says BattleTech, and on the front was a vulture.
Whoa!
I was like, wait, this looks just like the mechs. I'm like, is this all connected?
Yeah, from the Mech Warrior? Yeah, I remember playing Mech. Wait, what?
And then so I bought the pack. It was like a trading card game, like Pokemon was.
Yep, I have that too.
And then I start seeing like all these familiar units, like the long tom batteries, like the commandos. I'm like,
yeah,
this is all related. And so that's how I got. I never played the tabletop. I played the card game.
I love the card game. I absolutely love the card game. I miss it. It had such. It wasn't the design. Wasn't the card game was designed by Richard Garfield, the guy who created and brainchilded the Magic the Gathering. Can you imagine that? He was the guy that changed the face of card game forever. He was the actual guy, right? So there was So before Magic the Gathering, there was nothing. After Magic the Gathering, you got the BattleTech, the Pokemon card game became even more noticeable because,
Yeah.
it had no advertising, right? But now it was riding on the backs of Magic the Gathering. And so you had Vampire, the World of Darkness card game, the Star Trek card game, the Werewolf card game. What else? There was even the Dungeons and Dragons card game at one point, the Mech Warrior card game. Then all of a sudden the Japanese card games started flooding the market, like the Digimon card game, and you got like the Gundam card game and all these other. It was the greatest. I remember it was so great because there were so many options and choices and stuff like that, and the mechanics were fun mechanics. But then when Magic the Gathering started making a lot of money and Richard Garfield sold, for a huge, for a deservedly huge amount of money. That company trademarked the ability to tap, right? So I remember all the card games, you had a tapping thing. You tap this, right?
Yes.
So once they were able to get to legally lock out to other card games from copying that, the bottom fell from all the smaller card manufacturing companies could not adapt with the popularity and the legal lock of producing card games, and a lot of them disappeared. My favorite Star Trek card game disappeared. The MechWarrior card game disappeared, right? Like all the card games disappeared, and the only ones that survived were, I believe, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and I think those are basically kind of the top three. And then you've got like
from that era, because I've been playing card games since BattleTech. I played, what was it? The Pokemon card game, Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, I collected Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't really play it. Bleach was probably my favorite.
I remember the Bleach.
I played a little bit of the Dragon Ball and the Naruto one.
Dragon Ball, yes. I still have my Dragon Ball, and then I have my Vampire. Oh my goodness, Vampire, the World of Darkness, the card game. Now, Vampire, the World of Darkness, the mechanics were designed by Richard Garfield, the same guy, Magic the Gathering. The BattleTech rules for the card game was designed and brainchilded by the same guy, Richard Garfield. He brainchilded a lot of these like card systems, right? That work. They are fun, but because those companies, couldn't use the tapping ability, right? The people just didn't want to play with those cards for some crazy reason. They just didn't want to. I don't know why. BattleTech was such a fun idea of a game. It really was.
That it was.
Mm-hmm. And then wait, when you got introduced to the Mech Warrior, was it the PC game?
Yes.
Did you play
What?
Did you play the first one?
No.
I did.
My introduction was Mech Warrior 2.
Oh, but my introduction. Okay.
Here's the thing. When I was younger, I used to see this game called Mech Warrior. I think it was 3050.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Like at Blockbuster and stuff like that. But I never rented it, but I always looked at it because it was very, I liked the way the design looked. But yeah, I never played that one. My first introduction was Mech Warrior 2, which my friend had, and I would play it sometimes. My first actual owning game was Mech Warrior 3.
Oh, Mech Warrior 3. Oh, I played all that stuff. The memories. Oh my goodness. I was there because of I started with the tabletop miniatures game and then went to the card game, and then all of a sudden, like, what's this floppy disk? And this, like, it was like a chunky box. Okay, it was hilarious looking back. It was MechWarrior 1 was in this giant box. It was like a cereal box. But when you opened it, it was a tiny little 3-inch by 3-inch floppy disk with a little book that was like a 6-inch by 4-inch booklet, and it was as thin as like a pinky nail. So I was like, what? And then you got a poster or something with it. Like, right? I was like, what? And I was like, what is this? But we didn't see, I mean, looking back on it, that was a really tricky move. You companies trying to put shelf space. We now know the reason why toys are manufactured bigger, because they hold larger shelf space, which gives you more eyes to look at. So they were already doing this back then. Shame on you, but I fell for it. I got the box. We played the game on a cheap little PC computer that only had green color on it. It was the funnest.
Oh yeah,
it was the funnest game ever.
Good old days.
Oh my goodness. But it's interesting how, okay, so out of a lot of games science fiction games that came out during this time. So when BattleTech came out, there was, at that time, Games Workshop, I think, what was Games Workshop? Games Workshop wasn't as big as what it was, right? They were putting out the first edition of the Warhammer Fantasy / Warhammer 40K Universe tabletop miniatures game. It was actually first developed as a role-playing game using miniatures similar to Dungeons and Dragons that were produced by TSR back in that time. So during that landscape, you had all these wonderful, there was like science fiction games like Star Frontiers, the role-playing game that was coming out. There was a bunch of there was Gamma World was another one that comes to mind. There was GURPS, right? Another one, the generic universal role-playing system that had a science fiction. They were starting to make science fiction supplements in conjunction with like what was becoming popular, like the BattleTech and the Warhammer 40K and all that stuff. You know, plus on top of that, Magic was beginning to grow and things like that. So I remember when all this.
What year?
I think, when did Magic, like the 80s or something like that? Pretty sure.
Oh, so yeah, okay, so
like,
back.
It was back during, I like to call it the golden age of games, before people decided to license a certain mechanic that basically other companies can't use anymore, which was really, really sneaky. But thinking back, that was sneaky. But back then I was like, oh, my favorite game is what happened to my game? You know, oh, the company went bankrupt. Oh, that's sad. And then now that we're looking back, ooh, you sneaky little devils. You sneaky little devils. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
For example, the owner, what eventually became the owners of Dungeons and Dragons, bought up their older properties to not manufacture or do anything with it, so that way other people can't take advantage of it. I was like, what? There's no Gamma World, there's no Star Frontiers, right? There were wonderful stories and the art design, and there's potential to make money, but it's not. They want the money to be the level of Dungeons and Dragons, right? You want the Dungeons and Dragons money. You want the Magic the Gathering money, right? If you can't make your card game, if other people are going to try to make card games, we're going to make sure we're the ones that's making the Magic the Gathering monies. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
during the fall of that golden year, I remember seeing all my favorite games were just disappearing, and all that was ending up as the winner was I'm really happy that BattleTech survived in whatever its current incarnation is. I'm glad that it's gotten a more direct appeal, a direct mass. What do you call it? What's that word, guys? A more direct mainstream appeal through Steam and stuff, right? Because you can't get, you get faster access with this new demographic of people that just, if they see something that looks cool, I want to play it now, versus you have to wait a year for the book to be manufactured. And even then they don't know if the marketing will show it's profitable, right? So it's nice that at least we have I love MechWarrior. I wish I had more memory space to get these story games like clans and stuff. And then my favorite, of course, there's the BattleTech one where it's it looks like you're like a RTS. I think that's what it's called.
I still want a more of a mech commander approach.
Oh,
RTS, full RTS.
Yeah. So you can see the soldiers, right? You see the little soldiers and tanks and stuff.
Moving them in real time and everything.
Oh, that would be great.
See, that I think that's the thing that Mech Commander lacked. You could play the tanks online versus other people, but you didn't really get that option offline. All you had access to was the little scout cars and stuff.
That's true. All right, we can let this run in the background.
Point. Let's just dive in. This map is from 3067. Maps from after that.
The clan invasion. I remember when the clan invasion happened. I was like, whoa, the story was whoa.
Let's just brush this radioactive ash off here, and there we go. 3067. Don't mind the flickering on the screen. I'm told it's mostly harmless. Mostly. Let's begin with the great houses themselves.
Oh, look at that map.
I'll be moving clockwise as we go. For those of you who understand,
it's so detailed, guys. See, every planet has a name, and every planet has a planetary bibliography, I guess.
So okay, hold on, pause it here.
Draconis
So for me,
That's Karina.
The thing was, once I found out about this house, how it traced all the way back to Takeo Kurita, I
Yep.
was sold.
Yeah,
Because,
isn't it right? It's
My VTuber pilot is from that era.
nice.
So I know a lot about him. Being the commander of the special force that went to go fight the Americans at battles. What was it? Philippine Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that came out of there. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm sold with that. So I'm sold. I'm a weeb and everything. I'm fully sold on Kurita.
Nice. And this is okay. So for those of you who are like on the fence, but you're interested in the BattleTech / MechWarrior, and then you're just discovering the lore, basically, if you know about Game of Thrones, it's basically Game of Thrones in space, but take away all that, the brother sister stuff, remove all that, the naughty bits, and that's basically Game of Thrones. You've got like you've got a legacy, a family legacy that stretches all the way back to Star League. And those that have survived. Wait, let me reword it. It's about a family legacy that was able to survive all the way from when the Star League fell. So can you imagine that? Like, so there are some family lines that have been wiped out, right? But the ones
this one goes even further back.
Can you imagine? Because the Kurita is they're a strong house. They maintain their genetic lineage and stuff like that. And so, and so does all the other houses like Davion, the Steiners, I think, Liao. They all have the bigger ones, like the more what's the word, chat? The more, if people see you the most, what's that word? If you're popular, I guess popular, not popular.
Prominent?
Yeah, the two most prominent houses, they're gonna have better security. They're gonna have better, they're gonna make sure that their families and the children and the legacy will continue. But of course, can you imagine? Like, of course, there's gonna be like assassination attempts, right? You saw how big this map was. Hold on. Yeah, wait. Let's see. Let me go back. All right, you saw. Wait.
67. Don't mind the
Okay, hang on.
screen. I'm told it's mostly harmless. Mostly. let's begin with
okay. You see how big this sector of galaxy of a quadrant of space, right? So let's just say, for example, imagine Kaigan, you live, right? You're a prominent leader, right? You're a prominent person that we were a person of importance. You live somewhere in that blue area, right? Each dot is a planet. So that's like Earth, like, and then imagine living on like somewhere on Earth. How are you gonna like? All right, if I'm coming in, if I'm gonna try to figure this out, it's impossible, right? Like, I'm gonna figure out a network to try to find out and verify, one, like you're not on all these planets, but we got to try to find where you are. One, two, and then two, where were you last seen, and then try to triangulate where you would go to, and then how assassinations were a big thing because they're difficult to accomplish. Like, to try to find where you're at in this blue sector of galaxy, like you could be on a planet on the bottom, way on the bottom left of the blue sector, but I'm thinking you're probably on the top left or the top right. Completely wrong information, right? But if I could get there's a reason why the assassination, the assassination was such a big deal, because you could see how crazy it is for it to even be successful, right? No one thought that it would be, no one's gonna assassinate, the Baron, right? But it happened, and then
I think the thing that is specific to BattleTech is like,
I'll be moving
the closer you are to the center, the more
time,
I guess safer you are in a way.
Who understand?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because like on the outside of the periphery, pirates and everything.
Oh, I love everybody like picks sides. I remember when I think they came out with the historic, like they made these books that were kind of like National Geographic-esque / encyclopedia on the complete like histories of like House Kurita. They came out with I think they're not expensive. You can get them on the eBay, I think. So you get literally a book on House Kurita, then House Davion, and just the writing at that time, they hired like really good authors back then, and how they were able to afford them. I mean, those authors are really prominent now, but they must have been very affordable back then. But even back then, the quality. Imagine like hiring a young Stephen King. Wait, is that right? Stephen King, he's a horror writer.
Yes.
Yeah. So imagine hiring a young Stephen King to write your House Creator book. You know, knowing in retrospect that later on he produced these incredible works in TVs and movies. So it was like that. They were hiring authors that we didn't know that later on we found out that, oh wow, they wrote like they ended up selling a TV strip and they have all these works, you know, that have garnered like awards and stuff.
Weird world of
the reading, I highly recommend. The reading is very unique.
Pervasive class system and home to the galaxy's own homegrown, no bullshit, sword wielding authoritarian
That's true. That's true.
Oh yes. This place is literally built off pre-spaceflight Terran Shogunate era Japan. It's a monolithic.
Dude, why don't they have, if they just had BattleTech, a TV series, it would be fantastic, guys. But you have to hire the people that actually love it.
By tradition,
yeah,
it would work though. It's literally Game of Thrones.
Behold, this is their throne room. Take that in.
Look at that throne room.
This isn't just for show.
That's crazy.
This is their military. These are their uniforms. These are their mechs. They fight like this.
I remember the Horomochi
all the time. Yes, those swords are very real and do brutal work. All right, so back to the guy in the chair. It is frequently a guy in charge of this. So this guy is called the coordinator. He runs the place. There is very little distinction between the coordinator as a person and the Draconis Combine as a whole. When people refer to the dragon in reference to Kurita as a house or a nation, it's interchangeable between the two entities. And no, the Draconis Combine doesn't celebrate the godhood of rulership with divine mandate. However, the coordinator's word carries essentially the same weight within their sphere of influence, so I'd not invite trouble, as Kurita tends to bury its enemies deep, headless, and by the million. They have no issues with troubleshooting in government, as trouble should be shot in the Draconis Combine. And if there is anything to fear from those guys, it's that they believe in a manifest destiny, which involves House Kurita controlling everything. The Draconis Combine started as an agreement between two worlds, which was then fed war and conquest through House Kurita's leadership. Kurita has had total control since the beginning, aside from that one cadet branch that one time in the family who was wiped out long ago. As far as how this thing runs, well, the 5 pillars represent the Draconis Combine. The pillar of gold is the government. The pillar of steel is the military. The pillar of teak is the people. The pillar of ivory is religion, philosophy, and all that crap. And then there's jade, the economy. These 5 pillars of state philosophy are represented in the ministries of state organized through them. For instance, the pillar of steel encompasses the Ministry of War, the Department of Indoctrination, the Bureau of Substitution, the Assembly of the Grand Inquisitor, the Admiralty, the physician staff of the Dragon, and various minor administration authorities. Speaking of authorities, Draconis Combine bureaucracy tends to be impenetrable to outsiders, impossible to reason with, and largely maintains the status quo. Actual decisions are typically made by people with significant military rank, in the form of military governors appointed to oversee civilian authorities. When in doubt, the decision maker is typically the one with the sword. And if you want to see that sword up close and real fast, you only need to fail to take its bearer seriously, or merely disrespect their presence. Also, they had this whole death to mercenaries thing for a while. Not my favorite government to work with.
Yeah, again, I remember that.
They really need mercenaries ever because the constant fighting and insanity of the samurai class.
I remember when the Horomochi was brought into the store, everybody wanted to buy that miniature, and the dragon, the mech called the Dragon, everybody was building their Kurita lances.
Or on the battlefields.
They actually do reference
the Combine is the state
the mercenary thing in clans
maintained by Bushido.
I won't tell you why. That's a spoiler.
Finding Kurita forces in your backyard is frequently the precursor to speaking Japanese in your near future, whether you want to or not.
the BattleTech Japanese version. I've been trying to find the box set of that.
Okay, so pause it here.
Next door.
So these guys I know because Mech Commander is who you're under.
Okay.
So I don't know who your commander is. It's more what is it? What is her name?
Oh,
Something Morgan Davian.
yeah, Morgan. Yeah, yeah, I remember
So,
Morgan. Yeah,
I'm
Morgan.
sure you know who she is. Enlighten me.
Morgan. Okay, so Dave. All right, during the time when Kirita and House Davion, like things were brewing, but the moment they just declared war on one another, so the leadership at that time, the commander of the armies of House Davion was Morgan, and Morgan, I believe, is okay. So Morgan, I believe it's Morgan Caldavian, right? The middle name was never mentioned until like later on in the books, but it's Morgan Kell, who is the descendant, who has descendants later on that would be forming the unit of the Kell Hounds, right? The Kells would also have descendants that go with the clans. There's like people. Okay, so the people who made the Exodus during the fall of the Star League, a lot of their members were the children of like people whose lineage could be tied to like the great houses, right? So, for example, Alexander Kerensky, right, has a blood relation with Natasha Kerensky. Natasha Kerensky, we found out later on, secretly, she was part of the meeting for the Exodus, which would eventually lead to the formation of the clans, like hundreds of years later, right? Like generations later. But she was privy to those meetings, and she was the one that made the decision to stay behind, so that way she could give them intel, to give them so they would know about the political and economic landscape while Natasha was alive. So, she formed her Wolf's Dragoons and stuff like that. We didn't know that at that time we were playing the game, but when the novels and the lore started being pumped out, like we were like, holy smoke, right? And then when the main novel is called what's it called? It's a trilogy of books called The Return of Kerensky. And in that novel, it flat out, we found out that, oh my goodness, Natasha is a descendant of, General Alexander Kerensky. So she belongs to House Clan Wolf. Holy smoke. And then, so she was the one that was secretly like pumping out, deep space intel, right? So she would use like special, like certain Comstar radio towers and send out like, what's the word, guys, when it's like a hidden message? What's the word, the military term?
Info to who?
To the clans, to Clan Wolf.
Oh, okay.
She is from Clan Wolf. So Clan Wolf was maintaining, things were happening simultaneously, right? So the clans were developing their technology because they were seeing what the technology was at basically real time, right? Like, even though the distance between space could, like if you send a message from Earth and then somebody in Mars gets it, like, I don't know, like a year later. So you can imagine like the great time by the time they receive information to them sending out, right? So during that time, they were getting information like, oh, their heat sink technology was lacking. Oh, they don't have manufacturers, like, oh, their gauze weapon technology is like subpar. So they still had the technology that was prime during the Star League. So they were still fresh, and they brought with them all the scientists that still had that current knowledge of that time. So imagine like an experiment where you take like warriors from, you take like Vikings, break them in half, and leave the Vikings to how they'll be historically, but you take these Vikings and let them develop somewhere else. Like, can you imagine like the technology that they know about like making weapons and they could have eventually maybe stumbled upon the Roman way to fight, right? Like the Romans had a way of fighting because somehow the science of warfare they had scientists, they had observers that say, hey, maybe we forming a phalanx and making a square, might make you last long. Like those simple things, which will resonate historically down, the road where you see that it emulated in the Renaissance Wars or the Revolutionary War, and then of course there's more modernization. So imagine the clans being the epitome of modern mech technology, right? So they had like those double the range weapons, right? Like triple the heat sink capability. I remember reading the book, and the first battle, I was like, holy smoke, like, small lasers with a range of a large laser. I was like, what the heck is going on? I didn't know what was going on. It was like so exciting. It was the most exciting books to ever come out without advertising, without there's no social media. Like, we saw a book, we saw the cover, and all it's flat out said was the return of currency. Everybody knew who that was. So we grabbed those, I'm glad in a way that I'm glad that those books sold, because I don't know if they would sell nowadays, because this was all papered manufacture, right? So if it was like PDF novels only, like, can you imagine, like, that would cut the cost or profit for whoever the poor person that's putting their heart and soul into writing something really, really good to read.
Okay, so when you were reading those books, was it balanced at all, in your opinion? Because, like, the way that I take it is clan technology is like on a whole different level.
Oh yes.
But in MechWarrior Online, it's kind of balanced.
Yeah, I mean, it would be funny. I never really saw it like that, because when I'm playing the game, I'm always thinking, oh, we're playing Inner Sphere mech. But I don't have a chance to play the faction gameplay where it's Inner Sphere versus the clan. So I don't know, like, how I want to know what it feels like to go against like 12 players that are just only clan mechs versus the 12 players that are only Inner Sphere. I remember I had an experience when Fury invited me. Oh my goodness, I will be forever grateful, Fury, for inviting me into your lance, right? I was inviting, Commander Fury's lance, right? Where we were playing a faction gameplay. Her second in command of that lance was the shot caller. Literally, it was, all right, do the spaghetti, stay in tight combat spacing with Alpha Lance. Stick on me. I go, roger that. So he would be like, all right, Alpha Lance. He pinged the map. Right, rally point Delta. All right, Charlie Lance, rally point. I was like, and then everybody's like, literally like, roger that. On Oscar Mike. I'm sitting there and I'm watching. I'm keeping quiet, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, everybody's like freaking on point. I'm like, what the heck? And then of course Fury likes to go out and just fight, right? So she's kind of like the Natasha Currency of the game. So like, she's going wherever, but us three would either try to stay at least within line of sight of her, but that one guy was like literally barking orders, pinging on the map. I didn't even know you could ping on the map, right? And I didn't even know that you could take control as the company leader, and then you could also take control as a lance leader. So that guy was playing double roles. But man, oh man, did he get I felt the respect of the other lance commanders. And then when one person was like out of formation, I would hear it. When I was going out of formation because I thought to help Fury out, like, so I was lagging behind, and they'd be like, I would hear like, spaghetti, this is Lance, this is Alpha Lance, what are you doing? I go like, I want to make sure that Fury, just she's fine on her own. I need you to close ranks. I'm like, roger that. So I got yelled at during the match, during a faction war, but we won it. But man, it took forever. Faction gameplay, I didn't know. I thought, oh, half hour and a half, 2 hours. 2.5 hours. Like, what the heck, dude? This is going on forever. But we did it. I got a chance, and oh man, I missed that. I just wish we had like a whole bunch.
Well, because I think a full rotation is about 4 hours.
Crazy,
maybe
it?
7.
Crazy.
But that's like continuous battles. Like, I don't know that many people that actually play for like the whole rotation of, like, say, one campaign. That's too much.
That's the diehard. Those are the diehard BattleTech guys.
Well, yeah.
Oh my goodness. But one day, guys, that's the dream, guys. One day we're gonna have something like that. It's gonna be fantastic. but as you were saying, the technology was okay during when the first clan scout was checking the land, right? And I believe, who was the guy that they captured? Was it Kai Allard Lau or something like that? Or no, not Kai. It was some dude. No, Felon Kell, I think. Right. So there was one. The story of the Return of Kerensky focuses on an Innisphere mech warrior that was doing nothing but guard duty. He was on guard duty on one of the outer planets, right? He was contracted. So his unit, he's just sitting there in his mech and he's just checking the border, right? And then all of a sudden he sees this mech, a light mech, right? No, not light mech. He saw like a medium mech moving faster than a light mech. And on his radar was like, what the heck is this? So he goes to investigate, right? And then he sees like he's never seen a mech design like this before, right? And he's at the long range of sensors, but he's got like what's that guy's called in Star Trek when you enhance the view, right? He's got like like enhanced view, right? Like he's got like binoculars or something like that built in, so it's not powerful binoculars, but he could see like it's the outline of a medium-sized mech. Yeah, he zoomed in, but it's like weak technology, right? So, yeah. But at that distance, the other mech noticed that it was being watched and fired a small laser at him. The small laser was the distance of like a long range or something like that, and it hit him with the force of as if it was like a medium laser, right? So at that range, he was immediately alerted to what the heck's going on, and that was the beginning. That was, I remember reading that. It was just so written well. It was written in a way where you're actually watching a movie on the screen, right? So I'm sitting there, what the heck? I didn't know what the heck. And there were these tiny little guys running around with it, right? There was a little guy hitched on its back, and we didn't know that was the elemental, like a foot soldier, right? So when he went to engage into medium to close range combat, at medium range, he noticed that there were two things hanging kind of behind it. He didn't know what it was. He thought it was like, was it battery or like a flag or some kind of symbol, right? But it was two soldiers, two clan clamped on the back of that medium mech. It unharnessed, landed on the ground, and then started using its jump packs to try to harass his mech. It was the craziest thing. And then that's when we had the first description. That's when we knew that, hey, these clan guys are deadly serious. Their infantry is like a space marine kind of, right? And they hitch rides. A mech could literally have like a squad, like of five clans, depending on the size. They could have 1 to 5 latched onto it. So I was like, what the heck, right? So so at that time, the technology was completely overwhelmed. It outclassed the Innisphere. But as the invasion started to unfold, right, there would be small wins, right? There would be small wins where, we killed a clan, we killed the elemental, one soldier, and what the heck is this? So they were able to get bits and pieces that they blew off of what would later on they termed the Omni-Mech, right? So they had scientists that were able to reverse engineer some of that and slowly incorporate it into Innisphere mechs. So it's two things were happening simultaneously. The clans were doing their invasion. The Innisphere, though losing, were getting salvage material, right, from Omni-Mechs of various houses, right? And they were reverse engineering it and adding it to their arsenal. So as the invasion progressed, Innisphere technology was being adapted and raising, but the clan way of warfare, which was a regimented, a strict regimented way of fighting, lowered themselves to fighting kind of like the Innisphere. So you saw like a rising of one side and then a lowering of standards on the other side, right? So it's kind of interesting. So I guess in MechWarrior, in a way, it would be balanced because I think even my Innisphere mechs, I have like clan weaponry or something like that. So I'm thinking by design, they balanced out MechWarrior to feel as if it's like either toward the end of the invasion, maybe.
So it's funny you bring up that term Omni-Mech, because like I thought those were at least back then that the words were interchangeable between battle mech, omni-mech, and stuff like that. But it wasn't until I think somewhat recently that I found out that omni-mech is much different than a battle mech.
Yeah. It's like it's basically, well, the at that time it was the term for the parts that came from a clan, like salvage from any clan technology. So they called it omni-mech. And then I think it's over I think after the invasion the term changed, like how the terms change because of the lore has been pushed forward kind of. But during its first, like what's the word, guys, when you use the term for the first time? Like you think of you think of like a DeLorean. Oh, that's a DeLorean. But now when you hear DeLorean, you think of Back to the Future, right? That it's changed. Like what's that word, guys? It's morphed. It's like it's changed, I guess.
Because like in Battle Mech Warrior 5 clans, a battle tech or a battle mech rather is a mech that you cannot swap out parts of. It's like it's the engine, the armor, everything is on the mech, and it's like permanent.
Yeah, that's true.
But
yeah,
a omni mech, you can switch out the engine, you can switch out the armor, you can change a whole lot of things around.
Yeah. Well, the omni-mech was basically the term used for a clan mech. So when that, I think, what do you call it? When that part of the lore came out, they made like a supplement book, and they pumped out a bunch of like omni-mech miniatures that you could play to like what's the word? Not relive, but you could like relive the battles of the invasion, right? You could do your inner sphere mechs, and then you could put one side the omni mechs, right? So just to see how it feels and stuff like that. So the omni mech had it was a fixed structure back then, but as the invasion slowly began to falter, right, and the clans had to lower their war standards, they started copying the modularity of design that the Innisphere had. But at the same time, the Innisphere was enjoying how they had a fixed style of weaponry, right? So the Innisphere started like incorporating, the Omni parts. They started making their own version of the Innisphere Omni-Mech, right? And then the clans who had Omni-Mechs started making their version of the Innisphere mechs. But so over time, the modularity, like basically all the mechs started becoming the same, right? So if you had Innisphere mechs like that 50%, if the Innisphere had 50% of their mechs with Omni technology, and then if you had the clans with 50% Innisphere, they're both the same, right? So, both sides have 50-50 of either style, tech. And then the Omni mech, that's what it is now. It's a more modular. You could pop parts out and swap them in and stuff like that. So it became a logical progression of what it is.
So
now.
when you say that about the 50%, okay, so there's the 2C mechs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first one that I can remember coming to mind is the Hollander 2C.
Okay. Right, I remember. It's got like a okay.
Like that one. That one is the thing is you can actually buy that one in Mech Commander, which at the time I didn't know that was a clan mech.
Okay.
So the Hollander 2C, is that an actual clan mech or what? Because like from the description that it says on I think the book, it's just like a upgraded version of the Hollander.
Oh, the upgraded version of the Innisphere Hollander.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So if there's an updated version of an Innisphere mech, then that would be considered an Omni version of it. But so in terms of a clan mech, let's just say that the clans use Omni technology. So if they're using it, then it would be considered a clan mech.
Okay.
Yeah, clan. Okay, so clan mechs are Omni technology. So they use a form of a more advanced form of mech, I guess mech technology, but they called it on their end. They call it omni technology. To the inner sphere, they use that term as a way to say, oh, it's better. It's like a better engine or better. It became the inner sphere uses the term omni loosely, but the clans use the term omni as it's their science, right? But that science becomes it becomes watered down, and then the terms change. So after a while, if a clan is using a mech, they just call it a clan mech, right? It doesn't matter what technology a clan's using; it's a clan mech, right? So
I know that one, but there's So what about the Rifleman 2C? That one is strictly a clan mech, right?
Yeah, that was a clan mech, but there are inner sphere versions of that, but it's inner sphere. So there's inner sphere mechs that utilize clan mechs, but they're still called inner sphere mechs. It's kind of interesting, right? It's like
Very.
If you have like those kids, right? The car kids, they have they have a Honda, right? But they swap out parts so that way it has like a BMW engine in it. That's kind of like what the inner sphere is doing, right? So the inner sphere has the BMW, right? But they have to they use the BMW to adapt it to what the street kids are doing, right? So they do a lower cost value of a BMW, like they have a Mini Coupe, right? Which is similar BMW manufacturer, right? The guts are BMW, but it's a smaller, more affordable for inner sphere people to use. So it's kind of like that, but it's still considered, clan, like a clan vehicle versus
So
Honda will always be.
It's a cheaper chassis and you can I guess mix and match parts in it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Then what was happening? Okay, so what was happening is they went in full force. The clans thinking that they could literally wipe them. We will out our technology and our way, a structure of fighting will blow the inner sphere away. But the inner sphere were so resistant that it drained resources that the clans brought with them from their home world, right? So they didn't expect that. To get logistical support from their main home world will take it takes it's hundreds, it will take generations to bring resupply. They did not expect that. So they've never, when their mechs were destroyed, they didn't really think of salvaging it, right? It's just whatever. So the inner sphere people, after a battle, they're wondering why they're not claiming their salvage, right? They're just leaving it on the field, right? So the inner sphere quickly learned that they behave in a different way, right? So, but hey, it's to the benefit of the inner sphere. They were like grabbing any, even a foot from a clan mech, that's gold, right? So they took that foot and they saw, oh, the actuators are different than ours. Oh, what the way it bends or moves, it's a different kind of structure, right? Things like that. And they saw oh, the foot is shaped this way because there's less stress here when it does that. It's something as small, the smallest salvage yielded the highest gold, the highest rewards to an inner sphere guy. But to the clan, they were wasting resources left and right. By the end of the invasion, they had to make a ceasefire because they were running out of materials and stuff, right? So, but then to be continued. You know what I'm saying? To be continued.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what's one. It's a to be continued. So it covers two things. It's exciting to find for the lore, but two, to make money for miniatures, you could now recreate the aftermath of the invasion, right? You could have, now you could have good guys from the clans helping the inner sphere, right? You could have basically, it's basically another Game of Thrones, right? With another side thrown in. But because they've been devastated by the invasion, their technology is now adapted to kind of mimic the inner sphere, but the inner sphere is now adapted to mimic the clans, right? So both sides basically kind of are the same in terms of warfare ability. You know what I'm saying?
Because they recently introduced that mech in MechWarrior Online that has clan tech. It's Inner Sphere mech. I forgot what the name of it is, but it's I think it's a 70 ton or something like that. But it's it's inner sphere, but you can like I think change some things around that makes it that's like adopted from Clan Tech.
Yeah. I think some of my mechs I've adapted it. But I like to think of like when I play Mech Warrior, and I like to role play that I'm the Innisphere. Like a lot of my mechs have the camo of like special units in the stories I've read, like the Lyran Guards, the Eridani Light Horse, the Kellhounds, and the Grey Death Legion. I have those like and to match the camo, to make it feel more immersive and stuff. And then the clan stuff I have is because in my mind, like my pilot, like we salvage, like on a field of a battle, like, oh, we found like these clan machine guns or clan ER, I'm just gonna adapt them to my mech. That's how I see my story.
Sounds good.
But it would be nice if they had like like I wish they had. I mean, it's interesting. It would be nice if the designers for Mech Warrior had the option for uncustomizable mechs. Like it's just like a clan mech. That's it. You got an Omni mech. That's it. And then you got the Inner Sphere mech, like a version of this, and that's it. You can't. It's just hardwired like that. I think that would.
There are some like that.
That would be cool because then you know what it feels like to pilot those.
I think one of the executioners is like that. You cannot change anything but the weapons.
Whoa.
And it's like you have very limited space.
That would be, that would be really. That would be. You know what? That would be a challenge. Okay, that would be a challenge, guys. If you could.
Yeah, because there are a few mechs that actually you cannot change, and clan mechs that you cannot change much on them.
Wow. All right, you know what? I'll do one better. All right, Mech Warrior, the developers, if you could come out with a mech, develop a mech that you can't swap out at all. That's what it is, and this will be a nice way to represent the mech of that era. So you could see what it feels like. You'll know like immediately its strengths and weaknesses right out the gate. But that's the beauty of it. It's not about the meta, but it's about like for those of you're only making like maybe one. Like I would say, let's see, there's hundreds of mechs to pick, right? I would say out of the hundreds of mechs, let's just say, just to test the waters, do a special event where you could call it, celebrate BattleTech, celebrate Mech Warrior, for 50-year or like, I don't know, like a 60-year anniversary, we're coming out with like 4 60-ton mechs that, that represent, each of the eras of the Secession War. And you can't swap out. It's just hard locked. I think that would be it would be fun to collect those. Right, guys?
I mean, the event would have to use those mechs only to make it fair because, like, yeah, if you can't customize anything, that's going to make it, very tricky.
No, but you would get the mechs that are literally based on the lore. Like when I got the Black Widow mech, so when I got the Black Widow mech that was piloted by Natasha Kerensky, I could still swap things out, but I don't want to dare do it because that's Natasha's mech. So I'm making the choice to keep it hardwired, kind of. But it would be nice if they did something where like this is the mech piloted by like Theodore, right? This is Theodore Kurita's mech. When you look at it, it doesn't let you slide things out. That's what it is. So something would be more like mechs that were like piloted by the leaders, so that way they're not weak, but they're competitive in the meta. You could have like Hans Davion's battle. Mechs of the leaders. It's a special event called the leaders of the combat. Leaders of the Inner Sphere. You get 4 mechs or something, or 5 mechs, right? You'll get the mechs piloted by actually like Hans Davion's mech, Theodore Kurita's mech, right? You'll have like I don't know, like Melissa, like Stein, like what's the guy's, not Melissa Steiner, but one of the Steiner's mechs. You could get like that Liao mech. You'll get like, how cool would that be? Like you actually have like Theodore Kurita's mech. Oh, that would be so cool. That would be so, oh my goodness. That's something, guys. That's a pitch. Mech Warrior.
You could probably put that on the boards.
Dude. But we have to come up with something sensational, like something like,
Well, I mean, you have the Inner Sphere version, and you have the clan version.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. What's the Jade Falcon, the commander, what's his face? Because I know Clan Wolf and the Jade Falcon. Wait, They were going toe to, they don't like each other. I don't know the character's name. All I know is that the Kerenskys, what's the general's name? Dang it, something. But they would have their you pilot their Omni-Mech, like holy smoke.
Yeah.
And then it's perfect. Oh, perfect, guys. 4 mechs would be a lance, so you could literally have your friends form the leadership. Like you could call it the leadership lance, right? You know, you play this event, and you could get 4 of the clan, you know, the popular clan, the clan leaders mechs as 1 lance, and the inner sphere leadership as 1 lance. Oh my goodness, that would be so. And then the paint job and the camo literally looks right out of the actual story. How cool would that be? That would be so. And then so imagine you're fighting in a game, and you instantly recognize, holy smoke, that's Theodore Kurita marching down. You know, he's coming around that corner, that bed. Look out! That would be. It would be 1, fun. 2, it would create excitement, and 3, it would be so cool.
The one that likes.
I mean, it would be different.
Cool factor would be so high.
These guys. Technically, the state is the Federated Sons, and they're another fun monarchy. House Davion is descended from English and French nobility, operating as constitutionally bound monarchs, and has been, since ever, trying to reinforce their position as champions of liberty and personal freedom at every annoying turn.
Annoying turn.
Of this, most people think House Davion, and by extension, the Federated Sons, are self-righteous assholes. They're not wrong, mostly. But see, the story is a bit funny on that. Originally, the Federated Sons was a federation. In time, the founding polities chose delegates to form a high council who would, among themselves, elect a president to lead them. But the political machinations of the Davion family were all about having a monarchy, so they pushed the presidency into that, and since then, the Davion family has ruled, which is really good for them. Mostly good for the Federated Sons, and has worked out for the most part. However, Davions being Davions, one had to rule them all. So there was an early Davion civil war. The 5 marches had to decide for themselves who would be the first prince, and sharing was, apparently, not a serious consideration at any point. And the winner of that first early Davion civil war, Alexander Davion, went on to pass more legislation than any of his predecessors because he had total military support. Turns out you can make people vote how you want with a bayonet. However, the story doesn't get any worse really for some time at least. To their credit, House Davion was not a despot. They encouraged then and still champion free speech, individual liberties, and personal freedom. But in the end, it is a monarchy. Considering the mostly beneficial ruling arrangement, some will label Davion a father knows best state, which has many times but not always been justified in its actions. As such, it is seen as one of the more stable houses on account of broad public support. I will admit this, though they can be miserably righteous.
Oh, I know this artist. That's Jim Holloway's artwork.
Smug. And yes, that is just as bad. The armed forces of the Federated Sons have historically been one of the most professional militaries in the Inner Sphere, originally formed from peacekeepers and always kept as modern as state industries could allow. These guys even developed the predecessors.
Was that a Centurion?
On their own dime in the earliest
That's
years of
what it looked like.
Battlemechs. Even when they're wrong, they're almost right. Davion may not pay you well, but they won't bury you for no reason. Mostly.
Ah, the Laotians. I always wondered how you pronounce it. Is it Liao?
I say Liao.
Or yeah, the Capellan Federation.
Next door are these guys. I don't like them as much for a number of reasons. The Capellan Confederation is the youngest kid on the block as successor states go. It's a socialistic police state that has almost but not always been under the control of one family, House Liao. The head of the state is the Chancellor, who is, in the Capellan Confederation, one nod away from making you disappear. To say that it is a police state is not an act of hyperbole, but substantiated fact. However, it wasn't always so. What started as a collection of states uniting for common defense and well-being slowly grew over hundreds of years through successive generations of philosophy and leadership from one house into an autocratic state with a centrally controlled economy. Some would say this is a functional dictatorship, but dictators tend toward having some sort of functional agenda or understanding of strategic power. But in truth, there's actually three forces that run this place, at least in theory. They are the Chancellor, the Prefectorate, and the House of Scions. The Chancellor is the CIC of the Armed Forces, Special Forces, and
I miss hearing that word,
matters of foreign
Prefectorate.
policy. The Chancellor can also make decrees and legislative changes at will. It's a powerful position, to say the least, and has nearly always been a lifetime appointment for House Liao. The Prefectorate is the body of state regional entities and greater nobility. The House of Scions isn't, mostly. Needless to say, the Chancellor seems to get his or her way more often than not. But the other two governmental branches will act to frustrate or block particular agendas. What's interesting about the Capellan Confederation is that its citizens, or rather I should say resident aliens born there, are not citizens. Not yet, anyways. In fact, in the Confederation, citizenship must be earned, and the state is the sole measure of that esteem. Children are legally, in every way, wards of the state under limited provisional supervision granted by the government to their parents or other assigned legal guardians. At age 15, each child is thoroughly examined by the government to see if they have a proven commitment to the state. Those who are deemed worthy gain citizenship. Those who are not are given a grace period for a second evaluation, but failure to measure up as a citizen for any reason results in becoming a non-citizen, which are frequently referred to as state servitors. By the succession wars, this non-citizen class had become an enormous part of the population, a population that, I must state, had no rights and was legally state property. This was reversed in 3052 when Sun Tzu Liao became chancellor and abolished servitor slavery. Not all Capellan chancellors are assholes. Most, though, well, the record speaks for itself. The military of the Confederation Armed Forces have traditionally been the underdog, but have never shied away from a fight. They frequently are pushed into doing far too much with far too little, and on top of it have to face the catastrophic political and military meddling of a chancellor who may or may not understand the difference between entertainment and war. The fact that Capellan state has not been conquered outright speaks volumes to the abilities of the CCAF.
They're sandwiched between two big forces, major houses. They were able to navigate
8 centuries.
not only politically but economically and through like their
and
technology.
is designed on the principle that sufficient planning can overcome any hardship. This has produced mixed results. The Confederation always endures, but at what cost?
This would be wonderful to have as a show, like
Next door,
not a movie,
is
but
the
like
Free Worlds
like
League.
12 episodes or
I don't
something.
say House Merrick because
Merrick.
it's
Merrick or like
complicated.
everyone?
Also, their history isn't terrible as some make it out to be.
Or like a season
Yes,
for everyone?
the greatest threat to a Merrick is a Merrick, but glory to Merrick. But it wasn't always so. The Free Worlds League was actually formed before the Terran hegemony, born out of the early Terran Alliance's colonial struggles and then collapse as an early power. Your homeworld falling apart in early colonization was, well, somewhat on the catastrophic end of things. So nations which weathered that catastrophe learned self-reliance. The Free Worlds League was originally an agreement between 3 existing nations, the Merrick Republic, the Regulan Principality, and the Federation of Oriente. Amazingly enough, the founders of the League owe most of their success to a guy named George Humphreys, who was the negotiator between the 3 nations and was honored as the first Speaker of Parliament for 5 damn sessions. They didn't throw their negotiator away when they came together as a nation. They threw nobody under the bus. Instead, they championed him.
Wow.
That is righteous. So how'd it go down? You see, of the 3 nations, Merrick was on top locally, and Merrick didn't like the idea of a union at all, not at first. He thought it wouldn't work. Working with others seemed like a bad idea, in fact, considering the state of galactic affairs, but Humphreys wore him down, like a good friend does, and the only reason I bring this up is because what wore him down wasn't politics. It wasn't an appeal to power or glory or riches or conquest or the history books. It was in fact nerd shit.
Johnson, it's a load of
Nerd shit. That's funny.
Team is off playing the new Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Where they're
Oh, Black Ops commercial.
See, Detlev Merrick collected historic awards and trophies.
Whoa.
Raju Salaj, Prince of Regulus, collected miniatures, figurines made, and books and paintings and the like.
That's funny.
And these two guys nerding out about their neat stuff they liked and had collected contributed as much toward the founding of the Free Worlds League as anything else. Ostensibly, the Free Worlds League is a federal republic, with each province granted a grand measure of self-rule and sovereignty. And as you'd expect, the Free Worlds League is a complex creature, politically speaking. The Parliament is technically a supreme federal and legislative authority, but there's some caveats to that. For one, membership of the Parliament was, for a time, determined by the amount of taxes paid into the Treasury. And then there's the self-rule problem. All that self-rule means you have all sorts of people in Parliament. Some nations could be dictatorships, others a theocracy, others a democracy, and yet all under one flag. Naturally, this causes some problems. It's why, for the most part, the Free Worlds League
Janos Merrick
has operated
that
in a
name.
near-permanent state of martial law under the Captain General, who is frequently, but not always, a Merrick. Historically, the power of the Parliament has waned with every major conflict, crisis, or state of emergency, whereas the power of the Captain General has increased. That's right. The Free Worlds League drops their issues at Merrick's welcome mat, rings the doorbell, and runs the fuck home. I don't envy that job. Originally intended for military matters on behest of Parliament, 8 centuries of emergency powers later, the Captain General stands as first among equals, and is more or less House Merrick's personal lordship of the Free Worlds League, with all of the hazards that entails. The Free Worlds League has defined its economic niche through innovative technologies and free trade, which I feel is a response engineered in opposition to the then crumbling Terran Alliance's blanket of tariffs and protective customs laws. The laissez-faire approach to the free world's economic principles has made more friends than enemies. However, poor risk management analysis has caused problems. For instance, after conquering the magistracy of Canopus during the Reunification War, the Free Worlds League invested oceans of currency, industry, and effort into rebuilding the Canopan economy. Canopus returned the favor by outcompeting and underbidding the Free Worlds League economy in the region, by mostly using principally cheaper labor and lots of industry they didn't have to pay to build. This resulted in a 10-year economic recession for the entire Free Worlds League. No good deed goes unpunished. Since, they've learned quite a bit, and have managed their economic affairs with care to guard against the systemic mayhem and shock as caused by other states, good intentions or not. Culturally, the Free Worlds League is a mix. In fact, it is probably the most diverse state there is in the Inner Sphere. The principal language is mostly a derivative of Star League English, but on any given world you might hear Czech, Arabic, or Urdu. With the sheer number of cultures and political systems present in the Free Worlds League, it must be said that if there was anything that unified them, it was not a Merrick, but more an ideology. And that's entrepreneurship, a belief in the free market, and the idea that anybody could make it if they tried. It was from the prosperity of the Star League that this philosophy grew, I feel. The succession wars didn't dampen their spirits either. It merely made them appreciate what they had, and encouraged them to continue fighting for it. And maybe each other from time to time, because hey, glory to Merrick.
But hey, glory to Merrick.
Pause it.
Oh.
Okay, so what happened to the United States in this verse?
Like this is like
So I mean, so like, you know, Kurita's Japan, Davian is like England, Liao is Chinese, Merrick is, so from what I understand, Merrick is supposed to be like, I guess, remnants of the Ottoman.
Yeah, it is. Like a free market government.
Yeah. So what happens to America or the United States?
Oh, it's still Terra. There is Terra in the center of the
right. But like what so how come it wasn't like as big as like these others?
Oh,
like what happens to, you know, keep it from expanding? because America is a global power in the modern times, but like it's like they don't survive much in BattleTech. It's like it's not as big as like Steiner, Karita, Davian, Marek, etc.
Yeah, Marek is like in relation to like Earth, the Terran hegemony. That's Star League. It's Star League is where the Terran government is. That's where Earth is. The funny thing is that like Warhammer 40K, even though the year says 3050 or something like that, we're looking at like this is like way hundreds and thousands of years past Earth. Like Earth colonists slowly Earth slowly colonized the galaxy, right? So there was the one planet that went out from Earth, like like the map, right? So you could basically see like the closest planet toward where Earth is, and then if you could plot out like that, how it's when you drop a rock in the water and then the rings expand, so you could see like over time like how the years pass and planets slowly get colonized and terraformed and etc to the point where you have what is the inner sphere. But that's like 40k 40k level, like it's way we don't even talk about Earth anymore because it's it's so far back in history, which is fun. But then I know that there are stories and based along about like early Star League, like the glory days, and there's like the seat of powers is on Earth, and then the leader of the Star League comes from Earth. But with the fall of the Star League, which is interesting, no one wanted to conquer Earth. Like why bother? Because they have their own areas that they need to focus on, and and if they win, they become Star League, right? If Davion wins, we become Star. Kirita, if we win, we become Star League. So it's kind of like even though all the factions are different, like all the houses are different, right? And they have different beliefs and ways of politically, religiously, technology, like they have differences, but they all could trace they come from Earth. So they see Earth, and because of Comstar always pushing the religious aspect and stuff like that, right? Their own religious agenda, like doing Earth is like the holy Mecca or whatever, right? So it's now a belief that's built in, so that way like we don't, nobody dares touch Terra, right? So when they found out that the clans were trying to go for Earth, go for Terra, like that one was, I would like to think that helped put people, those still on the wall, on the fence, like, hey, we gotta stop this, right? And then they realize, oh, you think that, you want to stop them too. Oh, you want to stop them too. Yeah, you know what? Let's have a temporary ceasefire, right? The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So, and plus we don't want them to head to Earth, right? So that was the goal of the invasion, to drive a force, right there to get into Earth. And then the first major event, the first, I guess, what's the word, guys? Like if you're establishing a beachhead, right? And the beachhead is the one that will get you deep into their country. What's that word? Is it called beachhead? Or
I think so.
All right, so the first beachhead was Takayid, right? So all eggs were on Takayid, because if that planet falls, all the planets, like if you follow, if you put when you Indiana Jones where Takayid is and Earth, you could see, hey, there's not a lot of planets, right? So it's an easy jump, like you go like maybe 3 or 4 planets, right? You could just jump 4 planets and you're already on Earth. Versus if you go, if you want to jump to the capital city of Davion, when you put a straight line, oh, we got to bump on 10 different planets, right? Which means there's going to be 10 different armies waiting for us. Wait, Earth, right? If we take to Kayad, maybe it's just, like 3 jumps, right? 3 planets, right? And we could fight those other 3 planets, right? That we're going to park at before we hit Earth, right? So it's basically like the shortest distance with the least amount of planets that will block their way to Terra. So Takayid was everything hinged on that battle. Like I know a lot of house leadership died, but also a lot of up and coming leadership, became smarter for it, and push forward to a more prosperous like era, I think, like that. And plus, having a temporary cease warfare, and on top of that, hey, we got a lot of salvage. We need breathing room to adapt to them. Meanwhile, at that point, with the defeat of the clans, right? It was like, what's that word, guys? They were so sure. Is it that the word narcissist? Right? They were so, what's it when you're so, like, for a fact, right, that, Mike Tyson will knock this guy out, but the guy knocked Mike Tyson out. Like, it's like that. Like you didn't even think of it. What's that word, guys? Not so sure. I guess narcissist.
I mean, like a sure bet in a way.
Like they were so sure.
Confident.
Yeah, they were not really confident. They didn't. It wasn't like they just, hey, we're gonna win, right? They were just. It's not about like it was like built in, like, oh, you're gonna lose no matter what. Doesn't matter. Like, it's not a right. It's like what's the word, guys? They were just so into themselves, I guess, right? I guess. Well, I guess narcissist, right? Is a narcissist someone that's just believes in that they're right no matter what, or like they look so good,
or conceited.
Yeah. They were so culturally conceited, right? That we are here to save you. Why are you fighting us, right? The invasion was to establish a new Star League, right? But what was happening is there's two factions in the clan themselves. There's what do they call it? There's the wardens, and there's the attackers and the defenders, basically, right? So Clan Wolf plus I think Ghost Bear and I think another clan, they believe in like, hey, we're coming to invade to save them, right? But then there's like the Jade Falcons and what's the other ones? The Nova Cats or something like that. There was one side's like, no, we're here to dominate them. So they had their own problem, right?
Well, Jaguar?
Yeah. The clans had their own problems. And with the defeat, right? With the defeat at the Kayid, right? And plus them having to adapt to lower their standards so they could match, the fighting style of the inner sphere, right? So with all that like dishonor and why we're lowering our standards, but why, but what we should be saving them. No, we should be like, we should not lower our standards. Like we need to dominate them. It's like all these things started slowly building, but it was to the benefit of Clan Wolf. I think the movie Shogun. You know how like that the Shogun the leader manipulated Anjin-san and Mariko-san. Like if you really see what he was doing, it looked like he didn't know what was happening, but he was planning little things that when they happened would keep him alive, and in the end made him the Shogun. That was like the play that the leader of the Kerensky leadership of Clan Wolf was, right? He stood a defender, a warden, but he knew that I can't go against these other personalities, right? So he positioned himself and put like certain units and people in certain areas where he understood they would behave a certain way. And that behavior would cause something which would domino effect. And there's a 80% chance that it might happen. But he took a gamble that all the different little things that slowly happened, that when they were defeated at Duqayid, laid the blame onto the leadership that was the person in charge, or that clan that was in charge of the invasion was Jade Falcon, I believe. Like Jade Falcon and another clan. Like, so they were Crusaders, I think they were called. So, by Clan Wolf egging the rest of the clans to bully him, right? Oh, you're weak, Clan Wolf. Oh yeah, I am, but oh my goodness, so you could take this planet. But he had knowledge, like, oh, there's certain units here that could handle, these clan mechs, right? So he had a better understanding of unit composition, right? On a really unique, detailed way where, like, it was kind of like, think of it like this: like, he knew if the invasion was on Duqayid, but there's like 20 planets where there's a possibility that they could have chosen that as the main offensive, but he knew like the units, the strengths, the morale of all the different mercenaries and soldiers on every planet, right? So he made it look like they made the choice to go to this one planet, but But Clan Wolf understood that, hey, at this point, by the time the invasion goes to Takaya, Inner Sphere forces would by now have unified themselves, right? They would already, he understood that they're taking technology and revert. He knew that, right? But the other clans didn't see. They didn't see it or think to even want to understand that. You know, that's why they left their machines on the field. They, you know, then they won't know how to use this stuff, right? But they did. but Clan Wolf was smart. He knows that there's going to be an adaptation. You know, there's going to be people adapting. So what happened is when the fighting was going to end, Clan Wolf stepped up and said, "Hey, let's all stop." You know, like they did the big speech. You know, we got to stop. You know, we don't want to destroy, or we want to maintain. You know, like the peace. Let's have a temporary ceasefire. So Clan Wolf ends up looking like the hero, right, in the story, right? So they end up looking like the hero. There's a ceasefire. You know, everybody is like, you know, everyone during the height of the peace is happy, but then of course old habits, right? Davion, Kirita, the old legacy battles, arguments and stuff like that, start coming back and things like that. And then the old things with the clan, their own problems start coming back. But now they're mixing in, right? The societies are now mixed in. So it's kind of interesting, like how Clan Wolf ended up looking like the savior, and they wanted to be the savior. They wanted to help. They wanted to be the ones to save mankind. They wanted the ones to help at mankind's, at the inner spheres, as well as the clans, the highest lows, that they come in and they smooth things out, and they end up, you know, so they, in a way, they ended up becoming the winner. But then to be continued.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of wonderful characters came out of that story, and then the new mechs, the new miniatures that came out, I was like, what are these mechs? They were like mechs that were crazy looking. I was like, I've never seen these mechs before. And then I think by the time the Return of Kerensky storyline, coinciding with the release of the new miniatures for the game, when that was coming out, that was when the beginning of, rumors, word on the street is Harmony Gold is suing Fastsaw Company. What the heck? What, you know? And then, you know, lo and behold, you know, they did get sued. They lost. They went bankrupt. I think they passed hands to companies or something like that. The current company that owns them was smart enough to say, hey, you know, let's make games. Let's make, you know, everyone playing on the computer and stuff like that. Let's keep doing what we were doing. Let's put more focus in the computer stuff, right? Because trends look like, you know, not many people want to paint miniatures anymore and things like that. So, you know, and a lot of these miniature game companies, you know, the only one that's left standing is like pretty much Warhammer. I mean, Games Workshop was like standing tall. Even, I don't know how, you know, as an aside, I don't know how Games Workshop is the last man standing with the right. They double their costs. They always reprint a new edition every year, right? The miniatures went from a 1-inch format to like a 1.5-inch. I could see it. Maybe they're going to go big, larger miniatures, right? So their logic is bigger miniatures so that's easier for people to paint them, right? You know, people can't look and paint the fine detail. Let's make it easier for people to paint. So, and at the same time, we could double the price. And then would people buy it? They do buy it. They do buy it. What the heck? They do buy it. What? Like, what the flip? You know? But then again, there's other companies that are countering that style where the mass production of like plastic dungeons, you know, quote unquote Dungeons and Dragon miniatures, and like, which is way cheaper to get, and you still get the fine detail, you know, of a Warhammer 40K miniatures. And then I think over time, people starting at, you know, scanning the models and 3D printing, you know, then the 3D printing started becoming a thing, and then the company Games Workshop is trying to, you know, because they are like the main company to go against, they're trying to figure out how do we shut down these 3D printers, but you really can't. So what they're doing now is, hey, it's cheaper to 3D print. So now they're 3D printing their, you know, they became the clan, right? They're adapting to the Inner Sphere, right? The Inner Sphere is like the 3D printer guys. So you know what? We can't shut them down. But wait a minute. It costs way cheaper to 3D print. Why don't we do that? So they're now making it cheaper to manufacture. Hence, they keep increasing the prices because their cost of manufacturing is cheaper. But now the 3D printer is like, hey man, they're now affordable like we are. We got to even go cheaper. So it's like back and forth. It's back and forth. I think I went on a rant. I think outside a rant.
Next
The
door is
Lyran
the one people make
and
fun
House
of,
Steiner.
and for some of the right reasons. Welcome to the Lyran Commonwealth.
Oh, it's Lyran. I thought it was
Call
Lyran.
that unless they're declaring war or arranging marriage, which, if I'm frank, might be the same thing in the same afternoon. So welcome to the House of Steiner. The Steiners are the ruling family and have been since virtually ever. They were founded as a merchant and industrialist conglomerate. They never stopped being exactly that. They celebrate their
German
vast wealth by
manufacturing.
having far too many nobles, far too many noble titles, and historically largely incompetent generals. Save for the occasional flash in the pan, that is. However, if they're strategically incompetent to the point that the concept of their scouting parties operating vastly excessive tonnage, even in modest probing actions, memes based more on truth than you think, then how do they survive, you ask? Well, money and industry, friends. Money and industry.
Yep.
House Steiner's backing is the industrial base and every bank that invested in it. They are the military-industrial complex. There are many good reasons they can afford to dump truck weapons into a situation, operational or not, piloted or not, and then continue to do so until the enemy leaves. While not stupendously famous for warfighting leadership or tactical brilliance, House Steiner can and will bury you with its vast assembly lines led by pretend
That's
generals
funny.
until you give up or they get bored. Every tragic comedy of their strategic planning is mostly covered by the sheer power of their pervasive economy and vast military industry. In its early days, the Lyran Commonwealth was headed by 9 archons as patterned off ancient Athens of Terra, because early post-Terran colonies were like that, very idyllic. Then one guy deposed the other 8 and decided to establish the Estates General to run the show and finally hammer out some agreements on what rights meant. And it's kind of worked out. Technically, the Archon of the Lyran Commonwealth is an absolute ruler, commander-in-chief of all military
I missed that word,
forces,
Archon.
and can unilaterally make most governmental decisions. with
This
a
man can
modest
kill
nod.
planets on accident. That's
They run
funny.
the show. They even hold the right to grant and remove noble titles in perpetuity, titles which hold significant power. So they're a ruthless autocrat, right? Not really. Most Archons of House Steiner, aside from a few notable assholes who need extensive covering in what I will likely
Catherine
label
Steiner,
a historical
Davion.
diss track,
Melissa, I think Melissa was the best of them.
Hello.
are mostly okay
The Steiners
people.
and
I
the
think-
and
They delegate
Davion making
most
the
I
decisions
think
unifying
to
their
Melissa
houses.
the
is
councils
in
of
clan,
state,
or at least
appointed advisors,
she gets
and the
mentioned.
Estates General, and they typically
Yeah.
just keep their heads down, or just go to the Solaris thing. Right, the Solaris thing. So there's a bullseye in the inner sphere in the murder for entertainment business, and it's right here. Solaris 7. This is pretty much
So
Steiner
that
in a
makes
nutshell.
sense. The
But I'm not an
Solaris,
expert in these matters, so I'll turn it over to a local.
right? So in the miniatures game, Solaris was a separate. Okay, so BattleTech started expanding into role playing games, right? So they made their own role playing game called Mech Warrior, and it was to compete with during the golden age of RPGs. There was like TSR's the company called TSR was producing Dungeons and Dragons, and 2 versions. There was the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and the basic version, and then there was a company by Steve Jackson Games that was producing the GURPS system. There was Chaosium. The company Chaosium was producing Call of Cthulhu. There was a company, Avalon Hill, producing RuneQuest. Then there was a bunch of other games like Gamma World, Boot Hill, things like that. So BattleTech said, hey, we got to make our own role-playing game. So they made a game called Mech Warrior. And Mech Warrior is a percentile-based system similar to Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu. So a percentile-based system is you roll 2d10 and you roll under the percent of the statistic. So I'm piloting a mech, right? I have 75% pilot ability. So I want to, so my action is I want to trigger the jump jets, jump over the hill, land, but face the opposite way, and then in that same turn, do an alpha strike. So I would have to do a piloting skill I would roll a piloting skill with, let's just say, with a minus 10%. So my piloting is 75%. So I would have to roll under 65 to do all that. So more than 50%. So you would roll the 2d10s. And if you roll 65 or under, you literally activate your jump jets. Your mech launches in the air. And as it arches over to the hill, you pivot slightly. So that way your front is now facing back. And as you land, you hit the firing button and all weapons fire to bear. You know, it's like that. That's how you describe it. So they wanted something like that, right? To immersive, hyperkinetic, theatrical, right? Doing it D&D style with the, different dice, D6, D4, they felt was too slow, right? So they wanted to have at that time, the fastest way to gratify like a player was just, let's just roll these dice, right? And it's easier to understand if it's a percentile base for new people, to introduce new people to the role-playing game. So the main role-playing system, campaign world, was Solaris. So it was basically mech gladiatorial combat. So I was wondering why it was so popular, right? Because I didn't understand, like, you want to role-play like a mech warrior that just fights in the arena for the, for the glory and stuff like that. But I didn't understand it, but it was very popular and sold out a lot. So that makes sense that it was originated by, it was like a Steiner thing, because it elevated what was it, their industry, right? It elevated eyes on an industry that is all about like manufacturing and just getting materials out, and what better way to have your new technology being tested out, right? Field tested, than by having it piloted by guys looking for the glory, right? So that makes sense. For Solaris.
I mean, that's also one of the things that you can be in BattleTech.
Yeah, there is a game, right? That's the Solaris.
Beat each other to death.
No.
Enjoying a corn dog.
Duncan. Pause it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That is like one of the, I guess, your backgrounds in the BattleTech game.
Oh, yeah.
The Harebrained Schemes one. That you can like that can be your lineage, your background.
Oh,
that you can grow up at.
I see. You once fought in the arenas of Solaris.
Yes. And so, picking that gave you certain bonuses.
Nice.
For the character. Yeah.
I miss playing the role. That was it was a really fun system, guys. I think they only did it as like a one-time print run. And I don't know if they continued it. And then, of course, I don't know what the new company is doing. I know they did. Isn't there a new BattleTech game called Alpha Strike or something, where it's a much easier, faster way to play BattleTech? Using cards and like dice with symbols on it and things like that. And I saw the playtest. It feels way faster and not as crunchy as what it is. And plus, you get a box set of a lance of like a themed unit, right? You'll get like the Great Death Legion box set of 4 of the command mechs, right? I was looking at the Kellhounds box set, and it's affordable. It's like, I think it's like $16 or something like that. So it's not like $80 like Warhammer stuff. So BattleTech has been very competitive in terms of the miniature tabletop market, because they don't over manufacture. It looks like they're staying within the demand. So and they're not overproducing if the demand is, of course, not too big, right? But they're still a presence, in the miniatures tabletop market. And I'm glad that they still are.
That's not true. Canopus exists. They have corn dogs last I went, and a very good Outback.
I think Canopus banned trans fats, my dude. I've only ever
seen.
Oh, you know
what would be cool? Wait.
Oh, and they.
Oh my goodness! Do they have a Solaris like game mode in MechWarrior?
They used to. I think, because I remember playing it a few years ago, but I don't remember what they did with it.
Oh man, that would be so cool! Imagine like instead of 12, you'll get like maybe you could go from like 1 lance worth, or maybe like 8 players.
Well, no. It was 1v1 or 2v2. I think that was the max, was 2v2.
Ah, but the potential, guys. All right, MechWarrior developers, you should bring back Solaris, maybe like Solaris 2.0 or something like that, right?
Let me see what happens.
It would be 8 players versus 8, but it's in an arena style, right? So it looks like it's not like an arena where it's like gladiatorial like Rome where it's like just sand, no cover and stuff like that, right? So there would be designated like areas of combat. So it could be like just like Battletech, you pick city. You know what? To make it simple, you pick the maps, right? You pick city or the whatever, right? But the game mode, you could the two game modes, like let's just say domination and then Solaris. So if people pick Solaris and they pick Luthien map, it becomes not 12 on 12. It'll be like a 8 on 8 or something like that. And then all it is like
yeah, they removed it in 2022. The most you can do is 1v1 or 2v2 in event queue.
Well,
so
that's not
every
exciting.
now and then I guess they bring it back.
Okay, but that's not exciting 1v1. You want at least 4v4, like how the stories had it and stuff. That would be fun though. I think that'd be fun. Or like a limited, or how about this? Like, oh, it's the 80th anniversary. Join us for this wonderful, we're bringing back Solaris. This one time only, right? And if you play in the event, you'll unlock a Solaris mech or something like that, right? So you unlock
They
one
do
of the.
a lot of food on a stick.
That would be fun.
Saves napkins, less to clean up.
I want them to bring Aerotech into Mech Warrior. How cool would that be if you had like a full? Okay, I don't know how it could be done, but I play games, and I'm looking at you, Foxhole, where you have vehicle control, individual soldiers, right, and then you got like tanks, huge Chungus tanks, and now they're introducing airplanes and stuff like that, all in the same open world. Multi-mass like warfare style. So I could picture something where you're a tiny like like the BattleTech game where it's like those top-down tiny little miniatures, like it's 4 versus 4. But imagine now you have like little soldiers, tanks next to the little whatchamacallit, the little mechs, and then you scale upward, right? You'll have like air vehicles, and each could be controlled by a player. Right, so
you have War Thunder, which is tanks, planes, and ships. The only one that I can think of that ever went that far was World War II Online, where you could be a soldier, a tanker, airplane,
oh, that's right, Enlisted. I think it's called Enlisted.
Well, Enlisted, yes, but it's more like it's not as big. It's not an MMO type thing. It's like a lobby type thing.
So that'd be nice. You get it'll be like a first person view.
Right.
You either are a soldier, or you spawn in as a pilot in a mech, or you spawn as someone in a aerotech, like a spaceship, like a space plane. Oh, that would be and then imagine it's multi MMO style, like massive multiplayer on one map, and the map changes.
Yes.
Well, the start of the war starts on day 1 and ends when a faction one side wins, and then a new map rotation comes in. So you'll have like the Luthien map. It's huge, right? And then each map will have like 100 versus 100, and then you'll have all these grids. Kind of like, I hate to say it, but Foxhole sets the standard, guys. Foxhole sets the standard, guys, for like having the experience of actual like recreating like a full-on war. Oh my goodness. But imagine first person.
I would have to disagree. I would say World War II Online set that standard.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look at the World War II.
I mean, it's still the World War II Online is still around, but it's not. It's from like 2000, so it's a very old game. But they have been talking about trying to make it now in Unreal Engine 5. So they do want to update it. They've been trying to. I haven't kept up with the progress, so I'm not sure where it's at.
I see. And then,
but that for its time, that was the game. Like if you wanted to be like a little foot soldier or like a pilot, tanker, anti-aircraft gunner, anti-tank gunner, you could have been pretty much anything.
Wow. Wait, is that like I keep thinking Enlisted because I had the funnest with that.
No. Enlisted is like the boots on the ground version of War Thunder.
I see.
Enlisted, I think. Let me see. Hold on.
I'm just curious because Enlisted, I could slot in as a guy walking, or a guy in the tank, or a guy in the airplane, or something like that. So
it's about, I think, 50 players in Enlisted. War Thunder, you can do up to, I want to say, I think it's 24, 12v12 in one lobby. but it's it's combined arms pretty much, with the exception of foot soldiers. You don't have foot soldiers in War Thunder.
I see.
But World War II Online was like huge server, like the entire map of well, not the entire map of Europe, but like I'd say above the United Kingdom, going all the way down to France. So it was like I guess the European theater.
I see. Oh man, I love games when they're that huge. They're that huge.
Yeah,
it just makes it so much fun.
That was the way of the future. I wish we'd thought of it first. Sticks truly are the yardstick.
Like the
of
only
food.
thing I could comes to mind is that
I'm Duncan Fisher.
what's that game that's science fiction? It's like planetary
Sticks
something.
Are the future.
Planet
Mark
Assault or something.
Duncan, this is costing me a fortune.
Oh, right. HPG bills.
Eve?
So, Solaris 7.
Yeah, I think
murder is more or less very legal, so long as you do it in the box on TV, and everyone has a really great time. In fact, it's fantastic. There's explosions and music, and I'm there. Every night, on every screen. I tell you all the things I think you need to hear, and most of them are very accurate. Very, very accurate. Anyways, this is Duncan Fisher signing off, and this appearance cost Professor Tex 1,485 C-bills.
Thank you,
Oh,
Duncan.
I see the griffin. That's the
Time
griffin
and
back there.
space is a complex thing. Not good, not evil, just very big. In fact, I think that the Lyran Commonwealth is much like a cosmic horror. Some giant, blind, idiot god just waiting there, happily making money and strudel, singing merrily to itself until someone comes over and flips the table. And then it becomes very, very upset.
Together,
Ah, dang it,
your love
commercials.
turned the whole world on its head.
Oh, I actually like this commercial.
And all the while, you were watching clothes dry.
Oh.
Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Work days can be unpredictable, but your work wear shouldn't be.
Ba-dum,
With the
ba-bum,
Cintas
ba-
apparel-
Thank you for keeping us company here in the cringe, everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Don't forget your drinks and snacks, guys. The free Rassilog Republic.
Anyways, moving to our right, because space has that, we have to talk about this strip of the inner sphere that's been nothing but hell. We're not talking about these a-holes here, because they're not from here, or rather, not recently. These are the clans, and for those uninitiated, they're a strange, deep space civilization of state-mandated eugenics program, warrior caste,
Yep,
combat
eugenics
cult
program,
weirdos.
true.
Even by our standards, they're very weird. They also got completely wrecked by the phone company. It was a pretty okay time. For us, that is. So, here's what remains of the somewhat free Rassilhog Republic. So these guys were a thing, briefly, until these guys decided they shouldn't be. Because they were between these guys and Terra, which is controlled by the phone company, who wasn't cool with these guys taking a bite out of everything on their way to the telecoms HQ for very odd, strangely specific, quasi-spiritual reasons, which for very different, strangely specific, quasi-spiritual reasons, the phone
That's
company
funny.
decided to murder them.
Neech.
Guys, as it turns out, you can make people show up to an ambush by
meowie.
just asking them. Remember,
I'm
be
meowie.
kind, it pays dividends. Before the
Well,
Rassilhog was a state come from the
Is it
space
meowie?
between House
Wait, you're playing
Kurita
Lego?
over here and House Steiner. These Kuritan buffer worlds were, before
How are you,
Kurita
meowie?
came along, an independently free principality of mostly culturally Scandinavian colonists. This small state was then overrun by House Kurita, who had to pry the worlds from them after 30 years
Aw.
of guerrilla warfare. They didn't go
Aw,
quietly.
meowie.
They were always a somewhat fiercely independent border region who resisted
I hope you're having fun,
assimilation into
Meowie.
the Draconis Combine. Over time and some phone company intervention, Theodore Kurita was convinced of the benefits of creating a buffer zone between the houses of Steiner and Kurita by granting Rassilhog independence. Some of Kurita's guys were so mad at this that they resisted the government, and Kurita had to fight what was called the Ronin War. After Old Man
The
Karina
road.
gave his rowdy
Dude,
ways
he
the
was being
belt,
smart.
Hasselhoff
You're putting that
became
buffer?
essentially a neutral buffer between the
I
two
spent dollars.
superpowers
I better
of House
play
Karina
nonstop.
and House
Wait,
Steiner.
what you spend
they
on?
were independent for almost 2 decades before these assholes came in.
What, on
and in
Fortnite?
the end, they weren't anymore. This much of them survived as a rump state under the custodianship of Comstar until 3070, when Clan Ghostbear more or less took them in. Because Ghostbear is of a similar cultural background and understands the importance of family.
How much
Good
money did you
people
spend?
mostly. Kinda clingy though.
On the Fortnite?
For the record, Rosselhog was not a paper dragon.
Halloween.
They collapsed only
What?
after fighting bravely in the face of overwhelming odds. They gave the clanners a hard fight on every world, and in the deep black between stars. It was a Rosselhug pilot who kamikazed the Okan's warship and stopped the invasion for a year. Rosselhug is like that. They'll smile all day.
That's
They'll
what.
fuck around and the Viking comes out. And it
Oh,
doesn't stop
classified,
until you or
classified.
they are
Did you have
very,
fun playing with Maniacal?
very dead. Next up, I have to talk about this. This was once the cradle of humanity, but it's been a hotbed of a lot of historical issues. Originally, the first circuit of what was called SL Comnet was laid out in this chunk of space once called the Hegemony. Then, well, there was this guy named Jerome Blake, and his fate would have
Oh
it, he'd be
no!
the
What you
last
mean?
employee
Oh,
of
good.
SL
I'm glad you
Comnet.
had fun.
But some assholes in time would think that everything that poured out of his goddamn
glad,
mouth
I'm
was
glad.
the word of
He's very analytical. Comstar regrets to inform you. Yes, Comstar controlled the flow of information, guys. The word of Blake.
Right, so I guess next time I have to talk about the periphery, then the deep periphery. Great.
I'm glad you had
Goat,
fun,
play
Meowie.
me out. Team, show these people how we pay our bills. See you next time. Stay safe.
Oh, far away.
Nice, thank you, Black Plants Legion. Thank you.
See, I would like to do one on the periphery because there is a lot of stuff there as well.
Girls look great in latex.
Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum.
It's a
Dun 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 da da dum. Was it loud? Meowie, is this loud?
Oh no, oh yeah.
Thank you, Black Pants Legion.
Down here, at least it's not
Bum 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 ba da bum ba da bum. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. Bum bum ba da bum. Nice. Woo! You know what I want to do a reaction of next? I want to do the Kayed. That would be interesting. The beginning of the beginning like this, the 101, the houses, and then we get to see the actual thing that changed everything.
I will say that's gonna be like a whole day stream.
What?
Yeah, well, the Amara Civil War is like 5 hours.
I know. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Meowie. I know him IRL. Like he wasn't supposed to dox me. He asked me. He said, "Was that okay to let the?" He asked me, "Is it okay to dox you?" I said, "No, but it's too late now." What the heck, Dio? What the heck, Dio? Nice.
All right, back to the chorus one more time.
All right.
You're stuck
Dun,
in
dun,
the
dun, dun, dun.
periphery.
All right, guys. All right, Kaigun. I'm gonna wind the stream down. I have to go do my run and then eat some dinner, and then we'll probably have another secret stream tonight.
Alrighty.
Thank you for reacting with me.
I'll be down to play BattleTech or MechWarrior. When are you streaming? Like I guess tomorrow or
Let me see.
somewhat early in the day. Your
Earlier
next
in the
early
day?
stream.
Early stream. I have a work shift. It'll be late. It'll be late. The next early one will probably be no, my schedule, I have 8. Monday through Friday will be 8 p.m. And then probably like next Sunday.
Let me check real quick.
Yeah, I have to. My doctor. Oh, I have
think
to
I
run.
might be free.
I'm getting my final blood work checkup is this week, and I want to make sure that I'm under the numbers of my high numbers of my blood pressure and cholesterol. So I've been on a diet of nothing but beets juice, chicken noodle soup, organic chicken noodle soup, by the way, tuna fish with olive oil. If I'm cooking anything, it's got olive oil in it. So chicken noodle soup with rice and 3 teaspoons of olive in it. But thank God it's garlic olive. Nothing but trail mix. Ugh, the only snacks I could ever have is nothing but almonds and trail mix. What the heck? 2 hard-boiled eggs for lunch and breakfast. And then no more ramen noodles, no more Doritos or ice cream. So I'm hoping that I'm below, surely I'll be below the numbers, right, guys? I've been running every day for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. All right.
The night before your checkup, have a nice big fat juicy McDonald's double quarter pound.
Technically we could still play one BattleTech match. We could technically play one. No, but it is getting dark.
Tell you what. Next Sunday, I am free. Next Sunday, we will dedicate BattleTech.
Nice.
MechWarrior.
All right. We'll try to get a whole bunch. I wonder if we could get everybody to play, and then I want to try faction gameplay, but maybe I'll reach out to Fury. Maybe we could do something like everybody together on a Sunday.
On the condition it's not a meme.
What, Phoenix Hawks? We gotta do Phoenix Hawks right then.
No. Well, okay. A, I don't have one. B, I do terrible.
Only 5? We need 30 minutes run. No, not 5. Like at least 10 minutes. Right? 10 minutes, right? As long as my heart's going and stuff, right? Because I need to get back to make like dinner and stuff. I'm already running a little bit late. It's getting really dark out. So I was gonna try to run at 5, but I was having too much fun with the reactions.
Okay, so because the thing is if we do Lance gameplay, regular standard, it's like I run the assault, you usually run a light mech or a medium.
No, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run the archer with you. We could literally kill people, guys. We could literally kill. I've been literally.
I don't know if I have an archer.
I've been working. I've been practicing buddying up with what do you call it? Being another MechWarrior's another player's shadow, and then whatever that person's targeting, I could literally be behind them, and once I have tone, my Thunderbolts just shoot right over him. So I could literally be using him.
I don't know. I saw you shooting your teammates a lot today.
Well, no, that was because I didn't wait for the tone. I was excited, right? I didn't wait for the tone. So, but once I got tone, I was like arcing around there. But we got some good kills. We were doing really well. So but if knowing you, I could probably be off angle, and then we could literally try to get those guys.
But the thing is, find just find 2 more people to fill up the land.
Yeah. I have to. I'll see if I can reach out with Fury.
You cannot find 2 more heavy assault players, because then we won't. That's too much tonnage.
I think it's good. The Archer's not heavy, right? You could have 2 more, another something similar to the Archer or something. Or we could both be, what are those, the king crabs? We could both be the crabs. You can chat, help me customize my king crab. Oh, no, what's that? Is it called the king crab? We could do that.
Well, yeah, there's a king crab, there's the annihilator, there's the corsair for the meme of the AMS.
Yeah, my king crab has your favorite, the scrotaries. I got the scrotaries. It's basically...
Which ones and how many?
I forgot. I'll have to look. But my chat helped me build something that was more fun to play now.
Because see, the thing is, you're good with the Thunderbolts, but that's your only weapon. So you're kind of a one-trick pony.
Yeah, it makes it easier for me, at least.
I mean, well, see, the thing is, that's good up until it's not good. Because you don't have a backup weapon, and
No, but that's the meme. No, but when we play, we gotta do Phoenix Hawk Rising, right? We gotta do the,
You do that. You do that. I will be in one of my assault mechs.
Bada-bum.
I rarely play a light mech. If I was to play a light mech, I would wait until I can get me the Warthog, because I actually do want to run that mech, the one with all the machine guns.
Ah, okay, I see.
But that would be be with someone and do hit and runs after they strip the armor of the other mech.
Ah, okay. All right, we'll plan it. We'll plan it. We'll plan it, guys.
Yes.
All right, and then hopefully, maybe we'll see. I'll reach out to Fury because I really missed that fashion gameplay. That was so much fun. But it's okay. We'll put a pin in it. Okay, guys. All right. Before it gets any darker, I'm gonna go. Okay. All right, Kaikan. Thank
Yeah,
you.
if you're gonna be on tonight, then
Thank you for
yeah, I'll
hanging.
see you around.
Okay. And then I know
No problem.
I know you're gonna be playing Uma Manusa.
Yeah, dude. It's the next CM is like in next week, so I still need to get 4 horses ready.
I see.
It's still a lot of work.
Oh man. True. Let me get this here. All right. Oh man. What the heck happened? Okay. Can you still hear me? I hope.
Yep.
Okay, for a minute I thought I accidentally like shut down Discord. I was like, what happened? All right, Kaigun, thank you for the collab. Thank you for reaction. You know, I need to get more practice doing these things. So I'm glad I was able to hopefully I'm just glad that the stream didn't crash for one after 7 attempts. 7 attempts, guys.
Well, at least we figured out the audio problem for the thing.
Ooh, and then I just leave it alone. Wait, so the audio will help me. Well, as long as it could help, you could hear the sounds of whatever I'm going to share. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, for screen sharing, I think that is what's needed.
Ah, so now we could watch movies in the lobby, maybe? We could do secret TV shows and movies that we're not supposed to, we could get in trouble, but we could do it for our own community. Because I see I know Dom's demo watches like movies with his community and stuff like that. So I would like to try it, one day.
Yup.
All right, Kaigan, have a wonderful rest of the evening. And once again, thank you for hanging out with me.
Yes, sir. And I will see you next time.
All right, I will see you on the periphery.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Bye.
Have a good run.
All right, thank you. All right, guys, let's get into the game. Let's get into the goober, and we will wind the stream down. There we go. I'm saving. All right, that was fun, right? First time reaction. So I still see some lag, with my model tracking, but hopefully it'll be fixed. It is looking better, right? The issues I'm having with stream output is looking better. I mean, we can only find out once I end the stream and I watch. I do a quote unquote quality control. Right? We do a quality control over the VOD, and we'll see what parts are blurred out, what parts look pixelated, what parts are like you see how my model, I don't know if it looks smooth, but to me it looks like I'm doing this, but how it looks like on my dashboard, it looks like this. So it looks like that, see, but in reality I'm going like this. But how I'm seeing it on my end, it looks like this. Like it's like, how like it's freezing a little bit. But it is what it is. Like, you know what? Content's content. Content's content, guys. We just gotta adapt to it. We just gotta adapt to it, everybody. But anyways, thank you for popping in, Meowie. Thank you guys for keeping me company here in the cringe. I hope that you guys enjoyed the stream. But more important, I hope that you guys had a wonderful weekend, guys. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. And here's the plan. We're gonna go do a little bit of a light jog, have some dinner, take a little bit of a rest, and then maybe we might do another secret stream, a secret bedtime stream. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Okay? Alright, guys. But my regularly scheduled stream schedule will be Monday through Friday, so I hope to see you guys, at that time, guys. So 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I also post on my YouTubes, guys. I posted a lot of videos on my YouTubes, guys. So please take advantage. Take advantage to, to check out my YouTubes, guys. And please don't forget to follow, subscribe, leave a comment, and don't forget the thumbs up. Yeah, but all right, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Take good care of yourselves, take good care of each other, and I hope to see you guys next time. So long, farewell, it's time to say goodbye. 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 Bye. wonderful rest of the evening, and I hope to see you guys real soon. Lovers!